You got an oh shit for us?
I got it. I mean, for you, maybe. I don't know if you've been on the social medias today.
Oh, not really. What did I miss?
I mean, it's not anything to get excited about. It's kind of a bummer, but I think you may have worked with him in your heyday.
Tell me somebody passed away.
Somebody did pass away.
And I worked with him in my heyday?
Maybe. Did you work with, what was he called? The highlight reel, Billy Reel?
No shit.
Yes, shit.
What happened to him?
Oh, I don't, he passed away.
Ooh, highlight.
Yes. I forget who he was wrestling, but before Matt pulled the fire alarm at Seton Hall that day, Billy Reel was on the undercard of that show. And
hold on.
Somebody who he was let me finish. Somebody who he was wrestling. Oh, here we go.
Stop. I never pulled a fucking fire alarm. Why would I lie about that 20 something years later?
It's more, dude, just go with the story, bro.
No, because that's a serious deal.
Well, I heard that you did.
Yeah, if it was 20 years ago, bro, who cares now?
But I don't want to be accused of doing stuff like that.
Well, it's okay to be accused. That doesn't mean you're guilty.
It's fucking 2024. Everybody's guilty. The fucking nerds will be out to cancel me in 2 minutes.
It's true.
What, who? Mark Parloni?
I don't know. Everyone that sticks their fucking nose in everybody else's business. They don't know how to fucking stay in their lane. They got to be fucking social justice warrior cocksuckers.
Oh, social justice
cocksuckers.
Wait,
Really?
I think you meant social media. War justice cocksuckers.
I'm bringing back cocksuckers. I think that's a good one.
I think they've been around.
Yeah,
no, I mean, like, I'm gonna start. But I think I'm going to start using that more because, you know.
Oh, good for you.
It applies to everybody, really.
I hope it does.
Oh,
yeah? I can't wait to come back to Jersey.
What are you drinking? Protein shakes? What the fuck was that? Oh, it's a bottle. I saw the koozie. I thought maybe you had like a fucking, one of them fucking protein shake gimmick things.
No, come on.
I mean, HP double T's got to get in shape, right?
That's right. I went to the doctor today and he told me I got to lose some LBs.
You had to go to a doctor for that?
No, I went for the.
Wait, did Kevin call your doctor for you?
I don't know. Did you? No, I went for my hernia. I went to the surgeon to look at my hernia.
Oh, yeah. What did he say?
He said they're gonna do it robotically. They're gonna use a robot to fix my hernia.
Holy shit! Welcome to 2024.
Yeah, and I was like, whoa.
Wait.
Yeah.
So you're just gonna have like that fucking gimmick from the Jetsons, like saw you open?
No, you see, I was thinking of Johnny Number 5, actually.
Yeah.
Look at this hernia.
Was there any more robot of a robot than Johnny 5?
No, Johnny 5 is amazing.
Well, see,
if you had a Mount Rushmore of robots,
R2D2.
Yeah.
He's a droid though.
Still a robot, no?
Maybe, I guess. Yeah, column A, column B. Oh, you know who else I'd put on there? What was the space movie with River Phoenix? Space Camp. I'd put Jinx up there. Jinx was an awesome robot. Jinx put Max in space. Jinx get Max back.
Would you put Wally? Was Wally?
I was just thinking. Yeah, I was just thinking Wally.
Would you put Rosie from the Jetsons on there?
Oh, pretty iconic.
Yeah.
Would you put Small Wonder up there?
Yes. That's what I was thinking. Vicky, absolutely.
Yeah.
Especially if she ages, you know, things can get interesting when she looks 19.
What about RoboCop?
Easy fucking Feinstein. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, no one responded.
I was gonna be back here, but
yeah, but you didn't.
14 LOL. I'll pretend you said 18. Oof.
I said 19, Wolf.
That was a fucking RF
fucking why I didn't do anything.
The Rob Feinstein joke. You don't remember when he
got
caught?
It was a Quagmire joke. How old are you? 16, 18? Let's rock.
Right, and then from the fucking RF when Feinstein got caught by
why don't you come here and have a seat?
And he was talking to some boy and he was like, how old are you? And he was like 14, and then Feinstein was like 14. LOL, I'll pretend you said 18.
What's 14?
God, how was he allowed back in the business?
Because the wrestling business is full of fucking dirtbags.
Yep.
That look the other way.
RoboCop Rushmore of robots, or no? Are we done with this?
I think RoboCop goes on the Mount Rushmore.
I think he does too. RoboCop. Rosie, Johnny Five.
What about Kit?
Kit's a
No,
car.
Kit's a car, bro.
It's a robot though.
No, it's a
It's a
talking
fucking
car.
talking car.
Were you gonna put fucking Lightning McQueen on the list too? How about Tow Mater?
And R2D2, I guess.
What's
is what we
Tow
decided.
Mater?
Tow Mater, the tow truck. That was Lightning McQueen's friend. Larry the Cable Guy.
No, I wouldn't.
Never
put them
saw
on-
Cars.
I'm sure I have, but I don't think they don't resonate with me, so they don't get any. They go.
So they're because they're not
No.
robots. They're cars. They're talking
Yeah.
cars.
And we're not counting Transformers either. They're not robots. Or
They're
GoBots.
robots in disguise. It's literally in the
It's
Oh,
in
that's
the
a
song.
great call. That's a great call.
Then why don't we put any of the GoBots on there?
Ooh, that's a good
Oh,
point.
go
too.
bots! Come on, that's fucking.
They were first.
It's fucking WCW robots.
They were first.
Oh, RoboCop is a WCW robot. Let's get it straight.
That is true.
No, RoboCop was RoboCop. Then he was on WCW.
Yeah, so he's a WCW property now.
He shot a man in his penis through a woman's dress. I don't see any other robots doing that.
How many
RoboCop's
other
a
ones
dear
have had
close
that
personal
chance,
friend
though?
of mine, by the way.
What about sex robots? Do those get on the list?
Of course.
Yeah,
They
but
do.
what's a famous sex robot?
I don't know.
Okay, good.
I'm sure there's some fucking 60s sci-fi movies where they have like, wasn't there a movie where they shoot out of their titties like they were like guns or something?
Austin Powers.
Austin Powers titty robots.
Yeah.
I thought
those
they
are
were on
put-
Mars
I'd-
Attack for some reason. Why did I think
I'd put
Mars-
all of those on the list.
Machine Gun
Pew, pew, pew,
Jubilees.
pew, pew.
They can go on the list, but they don't go on the Mount Rushmore.
Bro, Fortnite robot skins where you shoot out of your titties.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're talking.
Like, get on the horn.
Did Steven Seagal ever play a robot?
He was a
Good
robot. I thought.
question.
See, I'd put him on the list if he played a robot.
Definitely.
Well, this isn't if somebody played a robot. It's Robot Mount Rushmore.
Well, it's a what if.
Oh, now
Yeah.
we're going into the fucking What If series?
Well, what the fuck? You didn't let me tell my Billy Real story, so we might as well just fucking keep on going.
He's fucking dead. Who gives a shit?
Ooh.
All
I
that
don't
and
fucking know the guy.
more. All that. and
Apparently
more.
he was a real-
Mike.
Apparently he was a real piece of fucking shit. I don't know what to tell you.
Oh, was he? I didn't know that.
Oh, see?
Was he? Oh, Jesus. Why do I sound so loud?
I don't know. That's what I heard.
Brett Lauderdale did say that he wasn't surprised.
That he died?
Yeah.
Well, people die.
And I'm pretty sure KM put up a post and he's like, I ran into him, he took a picture, he asked me, who does your suits so I know when my time is?
Ooh, morbid.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Huh?
My understanding, he wasn't a great guy, so I just thought you might have shared the ring with him. So, robot makes 3 incisions. They blow air into my stomach. They send in a little robot to fix my hernia. Now your story.
So you have a robot, like a little robot? Like they shrink them down, stick them in your pee hole?
I don't know. Not in the pee hole. They go on the side of the stomach.
So your robot doctor has a robot nurse.
He's not a robot doctor. He's a real doctor. I'm assuming he's going to control.
Hello,
the robot.
Matthew. Let's see your weenie.
Can't see it. Must lose some lbs.
Let me move this over.
The hernia is not by my penis. It's above my belly button. He doesn't have to go through my penis area.
I'm writing
doesn't
down
have
penis hernia.
He's missing out.
So anyway, the doctor told me I should lose a couple pounds. So we got that going for us today.
Oh, shit.
So what's your fucking Billy Real story? He wrestled at the show that I allegedly didn't pull the fire alarm at.
Yeah, I forget who his opponent was, but he was talking shit. He said something mean to me about my mom. So I said to him after he did some plancha and took him out outside the ring, I go, get him, Billy. You know, he said something mean about my mother. And he turned and he spit on him. I go, you're awesome, Billy. And then he shook hands him back in the ring. So, yeah, I had a moment with Billy the highlight reel.
Yeah, well, you will.
And now
continue
he's
to-
dead.
You will continue to have moments, and he will not.
Wow, you're a mean fucking guy.
I'm
Mr.
not
Grinch.
mean. I was just fucking sharing a story with you. You know what I am mean? Because I have to wear these fucking danglies. I already took the gloves off because my hands are getting all sweaty. Can't see with the glasses on. Dave Penzer joins us tonight. He wrote this great book, Volume 1. Which I
Sorry.
highly recommend you check it out. So he's going to join us tonight. The WWE is the Harvey Weinstein of the world, and AEW is Pepsi.
Yeah, wonderful. Good for him. Fucking hand job.
Smack the draft for SmackDown. We can argue about number one draft picks.
Ooh.
We're gonna have so much. We're gonna have a blast tonight. A blast. It's gonna a great show to follow up last week's excellent episode, with Misa Kate and that creepy ghoul who probably won't be back in the chat room again. Grim, right? What was his name?
Yeah, it was Grim.
Yeah.
No, I think it was Grimfan69 or some shit like that.
Yeah, Creepo number 2.
Creepo.
He could be a
Creepo.
robot. Oh, you think Siri's a robot, right?
No.
What about Alexa?
No. Those are just
Why?
like they're AI voices. There's no physical being to them.
So what about a Roomba?
Roomba. I might give you Roomba.
But are we talking about robots with human characteristics?
Yes.
Like, is that, yeah, so then a Roomba wouldn't,
But Alexa would.
no, because she's not a robot. She's a voice. Like, there's gotta be a
more,
thing.
There's more
go-
to her than just a voice, you son of a bitch.
Oh, sorry.
She's all woman
Really?
or man. I don't know. Whatever you're into.
Is she bringing back cocksucking?
You know it.
I thought Double T was doing that.
Well, it could use a little
Well,
help.
you need some help sometimes.
Yeah.
Be a great. I can't wait to start that campaign. BBCS.
BBC. Big beautiful cocksuckers.
No, bring back cocksuckers.
Oh,
Because that's okay. 'Cause that's not like.
yeah, but cocksuckers never went anywhere. Like,
I don't know. I don't ever hear anyone call anyone a cocksucker.
I call people cocksuckers occasionally on the show.
Let me see. Do I have a drop? If you call
No.
somebody a cocksucker,
Probably not.
no.
Probably not. Isolate that,
Cocksucker.
Eric Freed, you fucking freak. Yeah, you fucking freak.
Yeah, you fucking mutant. Come fucking crawling back to me.
Cum crawling? Can we
Cum
bring
crawling.
cum crawling
I'll
back?
bring it back. Cum crawlers.
Fuck yeah, dude. Now those are robots I'd put on fucking Mount Rushmore.
Would that be the reverse of the skeet guy?
Well, no. No, not
No?
really.
Would it be a Jace?
You didn't let me work it in. Cum crawlers. This week on Sci-Fi, invasion of the cum crawler.
There you go.
All right, well, we're gonna have a lot of fun tonight. We got Dave Penzer. We got lots of wrestling talk. We gotta talk about Dark Side of the Ring, just for fucking Sherry's kid. Oh my god!
All right, well,
Did you
all
watch
that and
it?
then some.
Did you watch it?
I
Everyone watched it?
halfway through.
I watch it.
All right, awesome. That's all here. Next, what are we? Episode 687. We're so close to 700. What are we gonna do?
What are you gonna?
I don't know. We'll get mean text in about 6 weeks.
Bring back cocksuckers.
A cocksucking good time coming up next.
Cock sucking, cum crawling, good time.
Back after this.
No, you're supposed to start the show.
The following is a presentation of the Shining Wizards Network, broadcasting live in high-definition video and available on all podcasting and streaming platforms. Follow us on social media at Wizards Podcast. Check out our merchandise at merch.shiningwizards.com. Do your Amazon shopping at amazon.shiningwizards.com. And become a Patreon supporter at patreon.com/wizardspodcast. And now, it's time for the Shining Wizards.
Mr. Steven Seagal, fly down to Jamaica and say one the baddest girl. So them send for Lady Stark, I don't know me raw. You see me? So
Girl, would you really run down there?
me want the body if it make me feel nice. Why? Tell me what you really want all night.
Me want to put on this if I make me
Me
nice.
want the body, him want the punani.
I mean, know it nice.
So
When You could look at their butt, you shouldn't do that. The girl dress is just that pretty, not just there to cover her kitty.
When me a fling it up, you better know fi back it up. When me a dash it up, make sure you black it up. If you ever flap it up, then me a go lock it up. Park it up like Benji hold up. So, me want the body fi make me feel nice. Why? Tell me where you really want all night.
You want the bananas if it make me nice. Me love the way you walk, sometimes the way you talk is so hot. Now you know, let's have a shot of rum. Then me can make you come with me to the ocean. That would be fat. You can be my bow cat. Nice ital breeze, bring you to your knees. Good jamming.
Yo, this a gal and a blow me rather wind up slow. When me turn it around, you have to come to my
It is time for Punani.
It
It's time for episode 687, boy. Of the Shining Wizards. Coming to you from the internet. Going with you on the radio. Time for the wrestling talk. Time for the wrestling talk.
Let's talk about wrestling.
Me Tony.
Me Matt.
My handsome Kevin.
Hey, you already know, KJG.
Me want the punani.
What the fuck? Holy shit. What was that?
Mr. Steven Seagal.
Holy shit. All right. Oh, well, look. Judge Crandall says Punani.
That's
Mike
Vince.
Peterson. Punani Tsunami. Brendan Haney, while I love you guys, I watched 3 hours of that intro if it was the show. Apron bump, I feel assaulted. Molly says, this is amazing. Holy shit.
You know, I had no idea that there was a dance
not
video, and
see
I
that
said,
coming.
"This is fucking perfect." Oh, you know who was singing that song? That's Steven Seagal's song.
Mr. Steven Seagal.
Do you think that gets a copyright strike?
Oh, for sure. When the girls move their butt,
When the girl starts to
Starts to
strut, you
strut.
can look at her, but you shouldn't do that.
her dress is so pretty, even though it covers her kitty. Call my name Steve.
Tell
Now
me
what,
you really want.
What album is this off of? Songs from the Crystal Cave or the Mojo
Yes.
Priest?
No, it's songs from the Crystal Cave for sure. Whew.
Are you saying that or are you guessing?
No, for sure.
And what would this the song would be called? Dance?
No,
Strut.
strut. When the
Strut.
girls they start to strut,
Oh,
you
yeah.
can look
It's
at
the-
your butt. You shouldn't do that.
It's the 12th song on the album, 14 altogether.
They're all
Girl It-
gems.
Girl,
They
It's
call
All
it deep
Right.
cut.
Oh, he's got one called Route 23. I wonder if that's about old Route 23 here in New Jersey.
You know, Pompton Ave.
What do you think Lollipop is about?
Me want to suck the lollipop, bring back cock sucking.
Oh, my God.
We could use that week after week if you want.
Oh, could we? Bro,
It definitely has a place.
this album, Songs from the Crystal Cave, he got fucking Stevie Wonder to be a part of it.
Of course he did. Who wouldn't want to be a part of this album?
Apparently, it was just Stevie Wonder and Lady Saw.
Yeah, Lady Saw. That's the one that was singing Strut.
Oh, sorry, I don't know who fucking Lady Saw is.
Listen, Handsome Kevin and I did quite a bit of research when this gem fucking fell into his lap.
Yes.
Did you? Now, how do you feel? Have you gone down the Mojo Priest rabbit hole?
I have not.
No, it's pretty much just been me want the punani for like 2 weeks now.
We've been waking up in the morning. First thing I sent to Tony, me wanda punani.
And I write back, you shouldn't do that.
Brandon, Stevie Wonder didn't see what he signed up for.
Knew it. I say, yeah. Low hanging fruit.
Mojo Priest was not accepted critically by people. They said all this music takes itself so seriously that it borders on delusional excess. Seagal's guitar playing, despite showcasing his Les Paul on the cover, leaves plenty to be desired. It rarely rises above bar band pedigree, and most of the time it isn't good.
I detect a little jealousy in that review. I don't know.
That's
about you guys.
Mojo Priest. That's not Songs from the Crystal Cave.
Yeah, but still.
Well, Songs from the Crystal Cave, it looks like he was doing rock, blues, dance hall, reggae.
Oh yeah. As you just heard.
And critical reception, people say it's endearing in its own way and presented the listener with a good vibes experience.
Now, real quick. This is a very embarrassing question.
You shouldn't do that.
Punani.
Yes.
What is it? What I think it is?
What do you think it is?
Well, when Lady Saw asked him, "Tell me what you really want," he said he wanted a punani.
So it's that, right? It's like
Knob
it's
gobbler. Yeah. No, that's cocksucker.
What's it? Wait, hold on. What is it?
I just wondered
It's
if there's
it.
like an alternate meaning that like actually meant something. It's
what you think it is.
okay.
Say it so I can make a fucking drop out of it.
I can't say it.
You can't say pussy.
No, I refuse to.
What are you?
Toot.
Listen to this pussy. Can't say pussy.
Exactly.
Oh, goddamn. All right.
Wasn't sure.
Stinkso
Steven Seagal may have
McGinkso.
full other language.
Yeah, so Steven Seagal wants the punani.
Oh.
What an opening. Well, we won't have a guest for 700, but Tony will do all the production for fucking Steven Seagal.
Hey, that's not fair.
What if
I
we
did all
get
the
Steven
production
Seagal for the 700?
Bro, now you have a job.
Who?
You.
I have a job.
Your job is to get Steven Seagal.
Martial artist Steven Seagal.
Yeah.
Fucking sexy dancing Steven Seagal.
I'm really surprised.
Steven Seagal.
I'm kind of surprised he was never in any way, shape, and form involved in professional wrestling.
Ooh, he was never.
Like he was never like a special guest referee. He was never out in the crowd. They never showed never. I feel like fucking Hard to Kill era Steven Seagal was like that would have been Hard to Kill and Above the Law. Whew, what a badass! I would want him as the enforcer at ringside.
Who's too busy making this great music. Now, let me ask you this: did Jean-Claude Van Damme ever do anything?
In wrestling? I'm not sure.
I feel like Jean-Claude Van Damme would be a WCW guy.
Oh, for sure.
WCW, yeah, but I'm not positive.
Oh, excuse me.
You know, Steven Seagal, 10 years older than Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Well, he's a sophisticated gentleman. That's why.
Jean-Claude Van Damme, only 63 years old.
Did you know Jean-Claude Van Damme was in Breakin' as a dancer in the background?
I did not know that.
You YouTube that. He's in like one scene. It's pretty funny. And it looks like, hey, what's Jean-Claude Van Damme doing in this dance movie?
That's what I'm thinking of. Goldberg was in a Van Damme movie.
Yes.
And that role was actually offered for Stone Cold Steve Austin, but Vince McMahon never told him.
Was it Universal Soldier?
Yes.
Yeah.
Universal Soldier 3?
That role was originally meant for Austin, but Vince McMahon never told Austin about it, and Austin got like really pissed off about it, so they gave it to Goldberg. That's a true story. Be a good old JR Sassafras.
I think Stone Cold's okay.
Oh no, he's doing all right. Doing just fine. But that's maybe why I thought about Jean-Claude Van Damme in WCW. Yeah. Who else? I mean, Chuck Norris is like the only guy of that ilk that, other than maybe like Stallone, that did something.
Stallone wasn't really involved in wrestling either, right? I mean, I know.
Oh, he's in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, but like in terms of like.
Oh no, wait,
doing
is he in the Hall of Fame or did he just induct Hogan?
Oh wait, I thought Stallone was in the Hall of Fame. No,
I think he inducted Hogan.
Schwarzenegger's in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah,
Right?
Schwarzy's in there.
Yes.
And Schwartzy inducted Bruno, didn't he?
Yes.
So
And I
who
think
inducted
Stallone
Schwartzy?
inducted Hogan.
Yeah, Stallone did induct Hogan. But Stallone's not in?
I don't think Arnold is in either.
Wait, Arnold's not in the WWE Hall of Fame?
What would he be in the Hall of Fame for?
The celebrity wing.
Yeah, he's
he
been
never
on
did
Raw and
anything.
shit. Yeah, he did.
He did
He
something
punched
with
Triple H.
Nah.
Yeah.
Arnold Schwarzenegger's official WWE Hall of Fame profile. Here it is.
Mhm.
Huh.
They gave him the fucking old original big gold purple belt as like an achievement award or some shit. I think he waffled somebody with him at ringside, didn't he?
What year did he go in?
It
It
doesn't
had to
have
be
his-
recent, right?
No, this is a long time.
No, within the last 20 years.
Well, I mean, technically, it's only been around for fucking 20 years, really. They stopped it after 95, 96, 97.
He was inducted. Let me see. In 2013, he put Bruno in, but it doesn't have. Oh, on the night before WrestleMania 31, whatever year that was. So it's 9 years ago. So 2005. No,
Who inducted
2015.
him? Triple H.
Yes.
Boom.
Yes. Triple H inducted him. 2015, it was Macho Man, Rikishi, Alundra Blaze, Larry Zbyszko, Jesus Christ. Tatsumi Fujinami,
Christ,
Kevin
motherfucker.
Nash, the Bushwhackers.
He punched Miz in the jaw in
Fucking
2014
Bushwhackers
in
in the Hall
on
of
a
Fame.
Raw. Brooklyn. He's been around. Oh, he was given the belt as the World Box Office Championship.
Jesus Criminy. Jesus Criminy.
You shouldn't do that.
You shouldn't do that.
When the girls they start to strut, you can look at their butt.
Is Chuck Norris in?
Didn't do that. I don't think so. Because didn't he only have that spot at Survivor Series? Was 94?
No,
Well, he was in the crowd at WrestleMania 7.
he
did
was at
the,
SummerSlam 93, wasn't he?
He's in the Martial Arts History Museum's Hall of Fame. He was
SummerSlam
inducted-
94. He was the
19
special enforcer for Razor and Diesel?
He was
No.
a special enforcer. No, that was
Survivor
Walter
Series.
Payton.
Yeah.
That was Walter Payton.
Walter Payton
Yeah.
was, yeah.
But he was the special enforcer for Undertaker Yokozuna casket rematch at Survivor Series 94, I believe. Because the Rumble 94 was when all the heels put Taker in the casket and he and then the rematch, Chuck Norris like super kicked I guess-
Jeff Jarrett.
Yeah,
Smoked
Jeff
Jarrett in the face.
Yeah,
Yeah, he was,
SummerSlam. Walter Payton McGayton.
Survivor Series 93.
Peyton McGayton.
That's right.
Come on, that was funny. I enjoyed it.
I was looking up Chuck
Peyton
Norris.
McGayton.
Chuck Norris.
No, I'm
in
trying
the
to figure out why
WWF.
my volume keeps dropping. I'm doing some technical stupidity over here. This fucking cocksucker.
Oh man, fucking it's Chuck Norris, like the 6 degrees of separation, or Jeff Jarrett, the 6 degrees of separation. Jeff Jarrett took a karate kick from Chuck Norris at 1994 Survivor Series.
That's what we
you
fucking
go.
said.
Yeah, in the aisle, bro.
It's pretty wild how Jeff Jarrett is involved in fucking everything.
I love it. He had the #1 best-selling action figure on Ringside Collectibles this week too. Look at that.
What
Can you
is
get that
it?
one, Matt?
What is? I don't know what it is.
AEW kind of like deluxe Jeff Jarrett.
Oh no, I put a halt on buying any action figures for the time being.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Is this more serious than we think, this hernia thing?
No,
Oh.
that has nothing to do with the hernia.
Oh, he got yelled at.
Wasn't sure.
Hey,
He
He
got
yelled at.
What's
Wasn't
your
sure if this was
beef?
the end.
No, there's never an end.
No, I meant for you.
No, I'm not going anywhere. What? I'm not going anywhere. You guys were a little hurtful last week about the pedicures. Have you never had a pedicure?
Nope.
No.
You guys are missing out. You're missing out.
Nobody's touching my fucking feet.
Oh my god, I felt so sorry for the little Asian lady.
Oh, I thought you were going to say the little fish. Did you?
Wait, your wife?
No, I guess they had to do like rock paper scissors to see who was doing my feet. Homegirl was putting in work, bro. The other lady flew right through my wife.
So it's not the pedicure itself that I have the issue with.
What is the?
It was the toenail painting, which I don't get, which is fine if you do it.
Gives a shit.
Nah, I mean I don't know. That was.
What's your beef with it? Who's gonna see my toenails?
Are they still painted?
You put it on Facebook.
Yeah, it's true.
Makes a point.
Yeah, I mean, like I'm the only one that sees my feet during the day. Yes, my feet are still painted.
You gotta. Yeah, other side, Dick.
Side dick.
You know, you can get it and not get your feet painted. You don't have to get.
Right.
So what made you decide? Fuck it, YOLO.
Why not? Who gives a shit?
Just why not? Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
I'm curious. I don't know if that's a thing that you do on the regular or not. That's all.
No, I don't. I should though. I should go to get a pedicure quite often.
What's
pedicures? I don't have the issue with. Pedicures are fine. Rock and roll, brother. It was the painting of the toenails that confused me.
Why did it confuse you? It's just fucking paint.
No, I get it. I mean, confused might have been the wrong word. I just didn't know if that's something that you did.
What do you got, HK? Hit me.
Well, I'm just thinking you're sitting there and you're saying why paint your toenails, and you're going, why not? Who gives a shit? Couldn't you use that same philosophy towards not having your toes painted? And you're out of there a little quicker. You're done.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I wasn't in a rush.
You just said they flew through your wife.
Well, yeah.
Now
Well, that's
you
because
gotta
they had to work.
and wait for your toes to get painted. You're adding time onto it.
They weren't. They weren't waiting to tape. No, this lady was working on my calluses, bro. She was. I spent like fucking 14 hours a day on my feet, bro. My feet are in rough shape.
I believe that.
Yeah.
It was nice. They put in a little warm water. They turn the bubbles on. They put all sorts of shit in there, and they rub your legs. I got 20-minute massage. Oh, it was great. The fucking massage chair. Woo.
For your wife's birthday, you're getting this treatment?
She wanted to do it, and then she was like, would you like to go with me? And I was like, yeah, I'll go with you. Sure, why not? Couples pedicure.
Not bad. Now, whose idea was it for the paint? Did she say, hey, you should paint your toenails, and you did it?
No. And I was like, I think I want my feet painted. She was like, all right, what color? And I was like, black, like my fucking soul.
Wow.
Huh.
Yeah.
Should have painted them red. Should have went full
So
gimmick.
you guys want to call me a name because I painted my toenails?
We didn't call you a name. What are you talking about?
I know you want to.
Nah.
What name would that
No,
be?
it's common. I just didn't know it was something that you did.
The name that you would. It's the first time I've ever done it.
You going back?
Now I know.
Oh, I'd love to go back.
Going back.
Love to go back. Work on my tootsies. And they even painted my walnut toe, so now you can't tell. That it's a walnut toe. She got to it, and she was like, and I'm like, no, you're good. Don't worry about it. Don't fuck with it. It's a lot of work.
Well, dark side of the ring, eh?
Oh, man, the last, what? You guys don't want to, why is everyone being weird?
I'm just sitting out because my internet's a little weird, so I don't want to jump in and interrupt anything else.
Dark Side of the Ring. Did you watch Sherry and Chris Adams?
Yes.
No, just half a Sherry. No Chris Adams.
I just watched Sherry.
All my money's going on Sandman tomorrow night.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Why?
Watch the beginning. You'll learn. You'll learn a thing or two about Mr. Sandman.
I'll watch it, but I just, out of all the ones this year, that's where you're putting all your money?
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. But what's so tragic about him? He's still alive.
I mean, that's a great question.
Yeah.
Still doing the gimmicks.
I mean, if
Still
you remember
out there.
what Steve Carino said, if he wrestled, he worked better when he was drunk.
Okay.
So maybe that can't be a healthy lifestyle if you're fucking drunk all the time.
All right, sure, but he's still here,
Sure.
right?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, man.
Well, I mean, Black Saturday is the last one. I mean,
what more could they say about that though?
I don't think it's a prerequisite that you have to be dead for something to be dark in wrestling.
I mean, I guess not, but still, I don't know. I don't know.
So you don't know, but all your money's on the Sandman.
Yes,
All right, I like
put
it.
it all on Sandman.
I
All
thought
of it.
the Sherry one was sad.
Yeah, of course.
Um,
You think I made a mistake by not letting her stay at my house?
yes,
Really?
yes.
Huh.
Apparently, Brendan said Sandman died in a car with Raven, but he was brought back.
Oh, there you go. He's Nikki Sixx of ECW.
Yeah, I think you should have let Sherry stay at your house. That would have been an amazing story.
Yeah, it would have been great. Imagine Sherry and Diana having a cup of coffee in the morning.
Your mother doesn't live with you.
No, but at the time I was living at home.
Oh, yes, that would have been amazing.
Yeah.
That would have been
Still don't know how she
awesome.
got booked for Basketball '98 of all fucking shows.
I mean, that was after WCW, right? Dark Side said she was down on her luck.
No, that was '98, bro.
She
Well, I
was
mean, I
gone by
guess,
then.
but-
She was
yeah.
gone because of her problems in WCW.
Yeah, that's all I would have needed. Her fucking doing lines of coke in front of my mother on the fucking kitchen table. Yeah,
been
good times.
Yes, but hindsight, Tony, the stories, Diana coming on here telling stories of how she watched Sherry do a line of coke while she made a cup of coffee. Oh, it would have been priceless. Priceless.
You know, now that I'm thinking about it,
Tony, I never knew this. I never knew Sherry had the opportunity to stay at your house.
oh no. I'm sure it was never mentioned to Sherry that she would be staying at my house. I was asked, "Hey, you got some room in your place for Sherry to crash?"
I would have been like, yes.
That would have been like, yes.
Gold. Gold.
So she was quite the looker in her youth too.
She was always a looker, man.
Yeah,
I understand, but to see her as like a young woman, it's kind of like, all right.
I did not know her and Jake had a relation.
I didn't know that either.
a revelation.
Oof.
I like how they like gloss over too. Like Jake's like, yeah, she went to Grizz. He was a little too old for her, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
kind of
I
still
was
out
like,
there.
oh fuck, we're going back because that was a rough Dark Side. That Grizzly Smith one.
That was I couldn't finish that one. That was bad.
Oh, Grizzly Smith is the fucking worst ever.
I do like how they have gotten a lot of the family members to participate in these. Like the Chris Adams one, they got Jeannie, and then Jeannie's daughter, who was. So Jeannie and Chris were never married. They were just boyfriend, girlfriend. But then Jeannie married Austin. So this girl, who is now an adult, was like, it was weird to watch my stepfather and my mom wrestle my father and my stepmom, because that was an angle they shot in WCCW. I think they've done a really good job with the Dark Sides this year.
For the most part, I think I agree. For the most part, the Sherry one didn't really do an awful lot for me. I wasn't like, it was just kind of there. But for the most part, I think the season's been a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, and Sherry, like, despite like all of her like fame and importance in wrestling, like you would think like, oh, there's nothing that I don't know about Sherry. But no, there's a lot that I didn't know about Sherry. Like I didn't know, like Matt said, I didn't know that her and Jake were a thing. Like I didn't know that Eric Bischoff fired her because she was so far gone. I didn't know that her son traveled with her on the road. I didn't know she had a son. I didn't know I didn't know this guy in New Orleans exists. This was a lot of new information on Sherry, and it was just. I wish they would have. I guess part of it is I wish they would have focused more on what she did in wrestling, but I guess that's a documentary for another network or another program. Because I'm fascinated by Sherry's run in WWE and WCW. Like it's a tremendous run.
Yeah, I think I think the idea of the height of her success comes across because they show her with DiBiase and Macho Man and getting physically involved with Hogan and Warrior, and like if you're a casual fan, you know who Hulk Hogan is, right? So to see her on the screen working with them, you would assume she was in high profile situations. But yeah, to Kevin's point, man, there was a lot of stuff I didn't know she was an exotic dancer. I didn't know she had a kid. I don't know the kid thing really. He's like a little Fraggle now. He's missing half a tongue. He won't tell anyone he has cancer, but they think he has cancer. This was my mom, and I was so
Back here if you need me.
You got this one, Double T.
Yep.
Yeah, this is match review.
Oh, I was like, holy shit. And I was really tired last night, but I was like, man, we got to talk about this because of this kid. They're like, we think he has cancer. He doesn't know half his tongue fell off.
They had they said they had it removed. It just tongues don't just fucking fall off, man.
Like, that's like that's not like getting your hernia fixed. You got to cut half your tongue off. You'd be like, hey, man, what's up with that? Not that I'm good.
Yeah, they got to go through your pee hole and cut your tongue out.
I like that old women's WWF championship.
Love that belt. Love the woman that holds it.
We're
has
talking
it
about
now?
the Rock and Robin era, the Sherry era, or the
Rock and roll,
Moolah?
baby.
Rock and Robin,
Oh. Tweedly diddly dee.
where it says ladies world champion on it.
Tweedly diddly dee. Tweedly diddly dee.
Yeah,
Rock and
interesting
Robin.
shit. Real interesting stuff. Sandman, I'm excited for. Black Saturday, I'll watch, but I don't know. I don't know what. What are we gonna fucking talk about?
Did I lose you guys?
No.
Oh,
What
you
is
sound-
going on tonight?
You sound very robotic. Is it just me?
I hear the dog barking, and it's not in my headphones. It's literally outside.
Is it?
Oh,
It is.
Dude, it's probably my shit.
Oh, what the fuck what are we doing here, guys?
You sound like fucking C-3PO.
Sounds fine to me.
This is
All right, now
this is how
everybody-
Tony gets out of a guest.
No, everything's good. Well, what time
Dude,
is he
how do you
joining
not
us?
want to talk to Dave Penzer?
He should be joining us any second now.
Dude,
What?
freaking
What
love
are you gonna-
Penzer.
Back after this?
No, I was waiting for him to. I was snapping to see if he would pop in when I snapped, and it
Is
didn't
that
work.
how it works?
Yes.
You were, what do they call that?
I dream
Manifesting,
Oh.
right? Manifesting his appearance.
How are you guys doing?
The Giant.
Sorry.
Guys are doing okay today?
Yes.
Okay.
If you have
What?
anything to say about Japan, do it now.
What?
I don't know.
That was a direct shot. That was a Scud missile right at
What? What?
I don't know. Yeah, if you got to say something about Japan, say it now.
What does
Say
that
it now.
mean?
You got something to say about Japan?
Yeah.
Say it
I mean-
now.
I mean, Jake Lee showed up and he attacked Naito.
Great.
Who's Jake Lee?
Who's Jake Lee?
Is he?
That's
Is that
not
Jake?
Is that Saturn?
Is that, I was going to say, is that Perry Saturn wearing a dress?
Saturday address.
Oh, yeah.
You're welcome.
What do they call that action?
Say it now.
Jake Lee from Noah?
I don't
He's
know
a big
him.
dude. He attacked Naito at the road to Dantaku. I don't understand what's going on. Why? What do you mean? Talk. And there's Captain Lou. Why do you want me to talk about Japan?
I don't know. I figured we didn't talk about Japan last week. You might have to tell us about Japan.
You're mocking me?
Yes.
No.
There you go.
Yes.
No.
You are. Yes.
Not at
you
all.
are.
Not
You
at
are.
all. No.
It's unnecessary. It's hurtful, actually.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I don't know why. You know what? Like, here's the thing that bothers me about you, T-Donk, right? I'm just a jerk off across the board, right? In all walks of life. Fortnite, real life, the podcast.
Wait. Who said you were a jerk off at Fortnite?
I'm a come on. I fucking make fun of everybody at Fortnite. I'm a dick, okay? Okay.
You're not a jerk off. I quite enjoy the cut of your jib. if I
Right, but
must
then
say.
I play with you. It's just me and you. You're very cordial. You're nice to me.
No. Wait,
you
I'm
would
not
you would
wait, no,
possibly
no.
believe we're friends, but then we get on here and you can't wait to drive the bus over me, throw me under the bus, bust my balls, buddy.
Hey, Hey, I'm always courteous to you in Fortnite. I'm always like, Matt, where's Jumanji?
But then we come on here and you're like a dick to me.
Dick to go to you.
Dick to me.
I don't
dick to go.
understand.
Listen, I know that you like to talk about Japanese wrestling. I just want to make
Not
sure.
with you, because you don't care.
I
You
care
don't
enough
care.
about Japanese.
HK
know-
doesn't care.
I didn't know who
KJG's
Fat
is
Joe
like he's
was.
like
I'm
half and
sorry.
half. Fat Joe, the
Whatever
rapper.
his name was, the guy that fucked up Naito.
Jake Lee. Come
Oh,
on,
sorry.
man.
Fat Joe, Jake Lee, whatever. The guy from
KJG's like
Noah.
half. KJG's half in, half out. He'll pay attention to the big shows. Won't watch the road two shows. That's good.
Well.
HK hates it all. He doesn't care.
That's
Hey,
true.
I saw a 40-second clip online. I'll never watch it. But then he's retweeting fucking Cody and Carmelo Hayes, both going for Cody cutters. This is the greatest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, what the fuck was that? I saw that botcherific move. I said, what the fuck were they going for?
That.
HK's got nothing. He's thinking he was at the cabin all weekend.
I was at the cabin all
Cocksucker.
weekend. I don't know what the fuck you said. I retweeted with Cody and Carmelo.
You didn't. I was just mocking you and your love for the E.
I fucking watched the show 2 years ago. The whole fucking thing, remember? And you said, "Oh, you shouldn't watch the whole fucking thing." And I watched the whole fucking
Oh,
thing.
Wrestle Kingdom, because
So
it's
I'm
long.
good for 4 years, bitch.
That's how that works.
Yeah.
Are you gonna?
Yeah, I watched
are you-
Wrestle Kingdom last year too.
Yeah. Did you ever find the Danielson Osprey match?
Yeah, I found it. When are we gonna watch it together?
I would love to watch it with you anytime, buddy.
Oh, maybe we'll do a little Patreon exclusive this weekend. We'll see how the schedules are.
I'm free after like 3:00 on Sunday.
All right. Well, Dave Penzer joining us shortly.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on, man. I sent all the information, so
He fucking hates us. He saw the Steven Seagal intro. He said, "Fuck this shit."
you think so? You think it was the Steven Seagal or the
The
Could have been
Punani?
anything.
the
Could have
robot
literally
talk?
been anything.
Probably the
Stop
dogs.
with the
Will you
dogs.
stop with that goddamn fucking doll?
Action
Is that-
figure. You
Is
son
that
of
a Is that a custom?
Nah, it's a real guy.
Okay, in the dress, huh? That's rough.
Wait, are his hands tied together? What is that?
No, it keeps his dress up.
Shouldn't do that.
He wanted to be natty.
You want the punani?
How you doing, Double T?
Scratching my foot.
Ah, gotcha. I said, how you
newly,
doing? But
pedicured foot.
Oh, how am I doing? You know
How are
what? I'm
you,
okay. It was a very busy week on the pizza truck. I went up and down the turnpike 5 times in 3 days. 5 times? 10 times. 10 times.
Okay.
And it was busy yesterday. So it's good, though. It's good. We're getting back into the swing of things. And I went to the doctor today. Got to take care of myself.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
You know.
Good.
We got some, have missed last week's show. Now we got lots of wrestling to talk about.
Lots of big time wrestling.
And I missed my guys. I didn't get to hang out last week, so that was a bummer.
Yeah, but you got your toenails painted.
I had a great time with my wife. It was a
I was
great
just
time.
say, how was
How was
Reese
the
with it?
how was
Good?
the old karaoke extravaganza?
Ah, great.
But you didn't
Where'd you end up
sing.
going?
No, I didn't sing. I watched other people. It's a mutant fest up there. The barn.
Yeah, but
What?
you should have sang like "You're the One That I Want" or "Paradise by the Dashboard Light" or "Summer Lovin'." Something the two you could have sang together.
Strut?
She doesn't want to sing with me.
Fucking A, dude.
She sang "Total Eclipse of the Heart" with Charles.
Oh well, of course.
Did Jamie and his gamies sing?
Jamie sang, yeah.
What does Jamie sing?
He usually does "Asshole" by Dennis Leary.
Yes.
He did
That would've-
something else,
That would have been a good call for Hulk's Hangout.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah,
an
would have got the
asshole,
gong. You can't use profanity. They will gong you and throw you out.
Even if there's profanity in the song.
Yeah, because it's a family friendly show.
I mean, the Hulkster said the N-word.
Yeah, but it was
It wasn't during a family-friendly show.
yeah, come on.
Alright.
That was X rated.
Yeah.
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 I don't know, but I'd hope Guy Evans told Dave Penzer the eastern part. Let me
Listen,
send
if he
a
calls in at
message.
8:30, I'm out at 9.
Let me
That's
send
all
a
I'm telling you.
message.
That seems to be a prevailing issue now.
Oh!
Oh, hey.
Oh!
I got to make sure he's not on camera before we bring him in, though. Because
I
he
don't
didn't
see
want to
him.
be on camera. I know, but I got to make sure he has no camera.
Well, it doesn't look like he has a camera. Yep, he doesn't have a
There
camera.
we go. All right,
There
let's
he
bring
is.
him in. Let's bring in Mr. Penzer.
So, hey guys,
Mr. Penzer, how
so
are you?
sorry I'm late.
No
okay.
worries.
Doing good.
No
I'm so sorry
worries.
I'm late.
All good.
You guys, how you guys doing? There's a lot of you
All-
in here.
Yeah, it's kind of a mess in here. We're a disaster.
Always, every week.
For 14 years.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Mr. Penzer, how are you this evening?
I'm doing good. I can't complain. So I have a question.
Sure.
So HBTT has all kinds of wrestling stuff behind him. Shining Wizards HK has all kinds of wrestling stuff behind him. KGJG has all Tony, man, where's your gimmicks?
Up there on the wall. Let me see. See him? I got some posters,
There
banners.
you go.
I got a comic book
All
up
right.
there. I got my picture of Bruno up there somewhere. We're good. It's just a different angle. That's all.
There you go.
But the real
I'm
the
good
real
to see- I'm
question
glad to
is
see it.
the real question is, do you have this?
Ooh.
I do.
Is that somebody's new book?
Looks familiar.
Sitting Ringside Volume 1. That's why Mr. Penzer joins us tonight. And I'm not going to lie, Mr. Penzer, I got this Sunday. I read a couple chapters, but I instantly went to the back of the book to look at all the bonus stuff. And if you are a wrestling historian or just a fanatic, some of this bonus material back here is incredible. Was there a particular reason why you hung on to all this stuff?
Because I'm a hoarder. I mean, that's partly true, but not like you see on the TV shows. But I never want to get rid of anything. And you know, there's reason for that, man. My wife about 8 years ago, made me throw out 2 big hefty bags of old WCW shirts. I'm talking Captain Mike Rotundo and stuff like that. That now is worth like $5,000 a T-shirt, man. So there's something to say for hanging on to stuff, but you know, you never know what it's going to be worth. But yeah, I mean, this was never supposed to be an autobiography. This was always supposed to be a book with all those formats and me telling some stories. And you know, Guy Evans, who's the co-author, who's brilliant, quite frankly, you know, said, I think we should do your story. And he says, I think it's tremendous. And I said, you better be a good writer. And he actually did a good job, if I could be honest. So yeah. So yeah, I mean, I'm assuming most people are going to go right to the formats or last Nitro. And then, you know, maybe a couple weeks later, they'll get around to reading the book and enjoy it. So, you know, you get 2 for 1.
Yeah, this is some of the I think I'm most intrigued by the handwritten stuff. Was this given to you handwritten? Or did you write all this stuff out? The Ross Cottle stuff, the Doom stuff?
No, that was either that would have been like Jody Hamilton who wrote that stuff, because what would happen was Jody Hamilton would fill in the, you know, a lot of the enhancement talent names. You know, it's funny, you could see that at one point a format page of, you know, Bobby Eaton versus blank, Arn Anderson and Larry Zbyszko versus blank. Well, there was 2 blanks there. But you know, it's amazing how sophisticated it's become. But yeah, so that probably would have been Jody's handwriting, and I would have gone to the copier, to the printer, and printed them all off and kept one for myself. So 9 out of 10 times, all that writing you see is Jody.
Now, you said you had a bag. Oh, sorry, Kev. I didn't mean to cut you off. You said you have a bag of T-shirts that could have fetched a lot of money. Do you think any of these original run sheets would fetch you a little extra money?
Well, that's the whole reason this came about, is because I found them. Look, let's not kid ourselves. The real estate business is not exactly setting the world on fire, and that's what I do for a living. So I found them, and I said I got to figure out a way to get them out. But if I'm being honest, I got to figure out a way to monetize them. And I had no idea how to do that. So I took a picture of one of the WCW night Saturday night formats from like 1995. And I posted it on Twitter. It's about a year and a half ago. I said, who would like these? What are they worth? And how do I put them out? And, different people gave their opinions, but everybody was, the one thing everybody was consistent about is they wanted them. They wanted to see them. So got a DM from Guy Evans about an hour into that whole conversation exchange on Twitter. And he said, I got the solution to your problem. We got to put out a scrapbook. And so that's how this whole thing got started. And told you earlier, it just became an autobiography because Guy happened to like the story. But that was never the original intention.
So for 3 out of the 4 of us are from New Jersey, Northeast, typically WWE territory, until Nitro came along, and you kind of became like the equivalent of our Howard Finkel. Obviously, Howard Finkel is the GOAT, but you cemented such a legacy, and your longevity in this business speaks for itself. How do you, when going to write a book, how do you gauge what you expect the interest to be in a book? Is that something that Guy might know a little bit more about? Is that something like how does that process start? We're like, listen, we might be able to sell a lot of books here.
He just asked, first of all, to be compared directly one-on-one with Howard Finkel may be the greatest compliment I've ever received. So thank you very much. I do want to make a point that I do not compare myself to Howard. Howard, as I say, if there's a what is that called? Where the 4
Mount Rushmore?
Shoot. Mount Rushmore. It sucks getting old, guys. You remember every word to American Pie, but you can't remember what you had for breakfast. But yeah, if there's a Mount Rushmore for ring announcers, it's Howard, and Howard. But thank you for saying that. Like I said, I obviously I like telling stories and talking about wrestling and the gift I was given, that I part hard work, part luck, part amazing opportunities that shouldn't have been there for a guy like me back in the 90s. And I just started talking and he started recording, and then he started turning that. I guess I didn't really see how the state, because he didn't send me like paragraphs. He didn't set until I started getting chapter by chapter. And the first chapter was a little strange because it's strange to kind of hear someone telling their story, not like really how you would speak, even though story. But I quickly got over that because the book is just so damn entertaining. And he does some great stuff. Like, for example, and I got used to it, but at the beginning he got me a couple times. And we would start a story and then he wouldn't finish it. And so I had text him, hey, I'm reading chapter 2. You never finished the story about blank. And he goes, well, that's in chapter 3. So he really wove a lot of this together to really be much more entertaining than it had any right to be.
But going back, how did it come about in terms of like, when you first started this book, you said it didn't necessarily start off as an autobiography. How did it develop into an autobiography? And like when you first sit down and start deciding to write a book, was this something that you had planned on doing regardless of what you thought it would do?
No, not at all. If you'd have told me 6 months ago I was writing my biography, and I told you I called you a liar. I had no interest in doing it. I didn't think anybody had interest in reading it. What this book was supposed to be was a scrapbook. So like instead of like 200 pages at the end of this book of all those bonus materials and formats and memories, it was going to be like a page, and then I'd tell a story about somebody that was on the page or an angle that went down on the format, or the last Nitro format. And then I'd tell my thoughts about the last Nitro. That's what originally the book was supposed to be. it was never supposed to be an autobiography. And until Guy said, he didn't even give me a choice. He said, "This is what we're doing." I said, "All right, you're the boss." So, and he did a great job. So God bless him.
And from what, again, the full transparency, I've only read about 150, 170 pages of this book. But what I've read is amazing. And I don't think I think the reason why people are drawn to stuff like this, Dave, is because you were involved in such a memorable time and you got to be on the inside of so many memorable things. One of my favorite stories is you tell a story about your trip out to Sturgis where you shared a room with Johnny Grunge, which in itself sounds like,
well, I know I'm audio only, but if you could see my face right now.
Without, obviously
I didn't
don't
even,
give
my
the
wife
whole...
didn't even that my wife didn't even
Your wife didn't know.
No, sorry, man. There's like a little delay. I apologize. My wife didn't even know that story till like a year ago because she's friends with Grunge's Grunge's past, but Grunge's former wife on Facebook, and I'm gonna stooge him off. But there became a time if the story was going to go out in the book, I had to smarten her up.
That I think in it's like the idea of Dave Penzer, the ring announcer, sharing a room with one half of Public Enemy is fascinating in itself, and then the stories behind it are just, they make the book so much fun. Did you have other interesting roommates throughout your tenure in WCW that maybe people wouldn't they'd be surprised to know that you roomed with Wrestler X?
Yeah, the funny thing about this book, and I'm sure you've already read this part if you read the first 150 pages, is, well, maybe not, but Randy Anderson, Pee Wee, the referee's the person who took me under his wing, and he said, "I want to show you the road." And I said, "All right, man, well, hop on in." Well, like 4 or 5 years later, I realized, and by that time we were close friends, our family were friends, but it dawned on me once I got to know the business, I got my car paid for, my gas paid for, my hotel paid for. So, he was using me to get, not have to pay for that stuff. And I was using him to learn the road. And one of the first people, and he always was, Randy was a great guy. He would always, if there was somebody that he thought was had a future in the business, that were, just getting started, and he would say, "Hey, you could ride with us and we'll get you a rollaway." And there was this young kid named Terror Rising who spent about 3 months hanging with us. And so I think a good idea for talent, because he's gone on and done some things in the business.
Speaking of terrorizing, do you think that you at some point, has this ever even been on your radar, WWE Hall of Fame?
Would I be in the Hall of Fame?
Yeah.
No. I don't think there's a chance in hell. Actually, my Hall of Fame was when I was there as a guest. These wonderful people, great friends, Dave Finley and his wife. I was there when Sting went in. And that I would say that was my Hall of Fame, because they used my intro in all the packages leading up to it, and that night and right before of me introducing him. So, that was cool enough for me, man. I got that close to the WWE Hall of Fame, and, I'm not going to get greedy. I think maybe if TNA would put more than one person a year in, it might have happened around, but with Scott no longer there, I doubt that would ever happen. But they only put one person in a year. I wouldn't want them to waste it on me, really. There's so many more valuable people that have done so much more for the company than I did. So yeah, but I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that. I have no expectations. Never thought I'd write a book. We did that. I mean, anything's possible, I guess. But I have no expectations about anything like that.
I'm sure you can see Handsome Kevin has he's got a Granite Man T-shirt on his chair, and you share some great stories about Larry Zbyszko in the book. Tell us a little bit about your relationship with Larry.
Larry's great. I mean, I could call Larry right now and we'll have an hour conversation about life and probably nothing about the wrestling business other than how much their ridiculous money they're paying him to do appearances now. But Larry's a great guy. You know, a little known fact is for about 6 months I did the play-by-play for the European Nitro, which was syndicated, and it came out the week after the aired live. So I would voice it over, but I had to use my old radio disc jockey name, Dave Lawrence, because I was pitching to myself at times, you know, because I was pitching down to the ring announcer. But Larry was doing color on that. So kind, taught me so much, and in just a short time. And he's a great guy, funny guy. I think if Larry, I've said this before, I think I might even say in the book, if Larry could, I don't know how he's doing these days. I haven't talked to him in months, but you know, because wrestling takes its toll for sure. But I think if he could play golf every day for the rest of his life, he'd be in heaven. So just loves playing golf. Mellow guy, doesn't really drink, you know, just kind of a real dry sense of humor, but great guy.
Now, reading Sitting Ringside Volume 1, you share quite a bit of interesting stories. And David, you seem like you were a bit of a party animal back in the day.
Define day.
Well, one day that I was particularly fond of in the book was your experience with Otis Day.
Oh, I didn't talk about that. I didn't talk about that in the book. I put that on Twitter last night. I think I forgot to bring that up in the book. I was a bit of a pot smoker before pot smoking became cool and legal. The ironic part of it is it gave me anxiety when I was 18 years old, and I've never smoked it again. I take that back. Obviously, I smoked it on the cruise ship because the day passes you a joint, you smoke it. I worked on a cruise ship and met my current wife there. And we started dating. And the cool thing about the cruise ship is every week they had an oldies band come on. The Shirelles, Paul Revere and the Raiders, and Otis Day and the Knights came on one week. So we ended up somehow, me and the soon-to-be future wife and Otis Day in the room. And like I said, when Otis Day passes you a joint, even though you haven't smoked in a long time, and you're worried to death that your anxiety is going to come back, you know what? You smoke it and you hope for the best. And yeah, then we got up on stage and with him and sang "Shout." You know, during his performance, he brought a whole bunch of the crew that he was hanging up with out on stage. So yeah, I had that random memory the night before. I don't know what spurred it. But yeah, I wrote, you know, I just random fact. And, so I see somebody read it. Thanks.
If you tell me David Penzer was doing the alligator while Otis Day was singing, I'm going to lose my shit.
I'm not really the alligator type of guy, but I was pretty damn stoned. So I could have.
Oh, so he was doing a little mashed potato.
Yeah. I'm more of a mashed potato alligator.
Are you surprised, David, with the response you've got from the book? I know Charles Robinson put out that he had gotten the book. Are you surprised with the reaction you've gotten from your peers?
Yeah, I mean, I do, and I think a lot of that is because of the work that Guy Evans has done before. You know, I think if it was David Penzer with Joe Blow, nobody'd give a crap. I don't know if I can curse.
Yeah, of course, curse. You're good. You can curse.
But Guy has a history of incredible books and pieces of work, and the Nitro book is just, it blew my mind when I read it. I was interviewed for it, and then I read it, and it's like, you know, people that he finds things that nobody else could find. He found a 6-second clip and put it on Twitter yesterday of me and Zabisco doing the European Nitro, and I don't know where these things. But he finds people too. It's uncanny. So many of those people that were interviewed for that book, especially the Turner executives, they probably don't even have wrestling that they were involved with resume anymore. They were all horrified by it. And Guy was able to find these guys, get them on the phone, get them to speak on the record about something they probably never wanted to think about again. It was insane. I keep reading names. I kept saying, how did he find that guy? How did he get this guy to talk? It's just incredible. So, we had a fun story of a non-athletic guy's journey into almost an impossible sea to navigate to get inside the wrestling business, and then have side seat to the Monday Night Wars. And I told him my thoughts, and he made it into a great story, and the bonus stuff doesn't hurt, certainly. So I'm excited, and I'm surprised by how many people have shown interest in it. But like I said, I think it's more Guy Evans than David Penzer.
I don't know, man. They're your stories, and you lived them. I mean, Guy just put them into words, and Guy is great. The Nitro book is amazing, but this is such a great read because, you were so good at your job as a ring announcer that a lot of people forget that you were there. And I think that's almost like people, the good referees are the referees people forget are in the ring. Like, we forget that you're still at ringside during all these colossal moments, and now this book gets to you get to share your insight with a lot of things that's super inside baseball. I think it's really awesome that this opportunity came up for you, and I'm enjoying the book thus far.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. It means a lot to me. And there's a lot of how the sausage is made. And, people like to know how the sausage is made. Even the formats have a lot of how the sausage is made. So no matter if it's pro wrestling or politics or Major League Baseball, or pick a subject, people like to know how the sausage is made. So I think we've given them some sausage to chew on. Hey, that was pretty clever. I just came up with that off the top of my head.
You mentioned that they used your Sting call on the WWE Hall of Fame induction. Have you reached out to Tony Schiavone and told him to stop fucking it up every time he does it on Wednesday nights?
I've spoken to Tony a bunch of times, and I did not tell him that. You know what? I don't know how that all came about, but I have a feeling that Tony Khan got a kick out of it and told him to keep saying it. That seems like something that Tony would get a kick out of. I got time with Tony when we were doing the empty arena Impact stuff, and Kenny Omega was our world champion for a while, and Tony would come up to oversee, just sign off creatively on what was going on. And but a nice guy, wrestling savant. I mean, the things he remembers are scary, quite frankly, in detail. He probably liked it, and he probably took. And you know what? When the boss tells you to do something, you do it. So no, but I've talked to Tony a few times. He came back in the business, and Tony's a good friend and a mentor. And I'm glad that he's back. I'm glad he's doing well. Sorry to hear about his dog. I did reach out to him on that, but I've been in that spot, man. That's a bad spot to be in. I cried like a 2-year-old.
Yeah, it's never easy when you have to put a pet down. It's rough. You have a ton of great pictures in here with a lot of celebrities. Ironically enough, we were just talking earlier tonight about Jean-Claude Van Damme, and you have a picture in here with him. Is that at a WCW event? Because we were trying to figure out, we know Goldberg was in Universal Soldier, but we don't know if Jean-Claude Van Damme was ever involved in WCW in any aspect of like being the celebrity of the night or whatever goofy shit they did back then.
So what happened is, before you could tell in a lot of those pictures, I'm wearing the same shirt or sweater. What happened was there before Hulu and the media world totally changed, and there still is to some extent, like Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy. There was syndicated television. There's unlike Drew Barrymore has a show. It doesn't air on the same. It airs on different channels at different times. And so they used to have a convention called the NAPTI convention in out there just because I would ask if I could go days early and just to go and get a pass, because I had heard through the grapevine that like every celebrity who wants to or has a syndicated show, is there, shaking hands and taking pictures and stuff. So that most of those pictures are like 3 years at the NAPTY convention. Some of them are from WCW, but most of them are from there, and that was a lot of fun, man. Hobnobbing with the celebrities and stuff. That was a great time. It was cool that WCW would let me go out there, because I really added no value to being there other than being a mark and wanting to take pictures with all these famous people.
So let me switch gears just for a second, because I'm a big fan of TNA Impact. I guess when you were there, I think your last show was when they rebranded to TNA. Is that right?
It was called Final Resolution. It was the last show before they were 2-3 weeks later. Have Hard to Kill, I believe, was the Hard to Kill from the Palms in Vegas.
So how would you describe your time? You mentioned the TNA Hall of Fame before and how they only induct one person there, but you were such an integral part of Impact. How would you describe your time there? And then once you're done with that, I'll have a follow-up real quick.
I mean, every time was great. I mean, this last round was a little different. It was COVID. We were in an empty arena, which is bizarre for somebody who's spent 50 years almost watching professional wrestling and being a part of it. But and a lot of it was strange. You go up to I wasn't in that locker room before COVID, and back up there, and normally and I mentioned this before, you'd walk around and you'd introduce yourself to everybody and shake their hand, and 6 feet away and masks, and it was really and they had 2 separate hotels. They had a town an office hotel, and I stayed in the office hotel. So I'd hang with guys like D-Lo, and that I knew, and Scott, who I've known for 30 years. But I didn't hang with the talent at the beginning, so it took me really a long time to get to know them. They mostly remembered me from TNA, not WCW, which blew my mind. They would say, "Hey, you used to, that's so cool that you're back at TNA. I used to watch you announce people," and I would be like, "Well, I was at WCW too. Yeah, I wasn't born yet." So that was pretty crazy, and it's funny when Mike Tenay went into the Hall of Fame, I told him that. I said, these guys are not going to remember WCW, most of them. And he told me afterwards, he said, "You're absolutely right." And that's pretty cool in itself. Scott's a great guy. I helped Scott get into WCW almost 30 years ago. He's gone a little bit higher in the ranks of climbing the business. I'm in the ranks of the business than I have, but he did a great job at it. It's so sad that he's not there anymore, and he just ran a great. Everybody was family. Everybody cared. Everybody genuinely cared about each other. When somebody was doing this event, or when Trey Miguel won his first X Division title, which to him was like his dream all his life, watching AJ Styles and Christopher Daniels and people with the X Division championship. He was literally moved, and it was the go area was sold out, with everybody with their camera phones on and cheering for him, and hugging him, and some were crying with him, and it wasn't just talent, it was production, it was management. It's a family atmosphere, man, and I can't say that other places aren't. All I could say is that they are, and the things that they're able to get done with such a limited amount of crew, absolutely incredible. So I really enjoyed this last run, and I'd certainly miss them, but I understand why they moved in the direction that they moved on. It ended up being better for me in the long run for a lot of reasons.
So the follow-up is a very bizarre question, kind of a selfish one for me. Describe your relationship with Brian Myers.
He's an ass. No, he's an asshole. I like Brian. I like Brian Myers. I like Brian Myers. but Brian Myers is an asshole, like I said, and the two things don't have separate. I could like the guy and he could be an asshole, and and he the whole thing was I had my podcast, which was also called Sitting Ringside, and when I'd interview people, when I was planning to interview people, I go through a lot of different ways to like look back at their work. But the obvious place to start is Wikipedia. Now, I wasn't reading things off of Wikipedia, off the screen, but it would help me to, ask questions about, hey, Brian, tell me about how it was when you started working with Edge as an Edge head, because quite frankly, I didn't put two and two together and had remembered that was him and so that helped me refresh my memory so I could get good stories and good stuff out of them. Well, somehow he found out I use Wikipedia, and the guy is relentless. He just won't shut the hell up about it. And quite frankly, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. It's, some of my book to prep for this interview. That's what you do. You read stuff to prep for stuff, and it gives you insight on questions. And so, but the ironic part is, when Cardona and Myers working for Impact, they obviously are huge wrestling marks. So the fact that David Penzer was introducing them was so super cool. And then when they got a little comfortable in their spot there, all of a sudden their attitude changed a little bit to, instead of them, we're going to screw with them. And that's fine. I've been screwed with a lot, and if I, by a lot bigger assholes than they are. So. So it takes a lot more than it takes a ton to piss me off. I'll tell you what, I worked in a business back where there were no cell phones, there was no internet. There was you ribbed each other on a 4-hour drive every night just to fucking to entertain yourselves. So their crap is going to piss me off, but I get a kick out of it.
Oh, thank you so much for that.
Well, you guys have like a feud with him?
No, but he's a friend of mine. He's a good buddy. He's been on the show a million times. So, but I just had to get that out there because I saw the picture on Twitter of him flipping you off in a hotel room or something, and I was just like, I gotta ask.
Yeah, I was in the locker room and I was kind of resting, resting my head against sitting in a chair, resting my head against the wall, and kind of dozed off a little bit. When you get old, that kind of stuff happens. And yeah, next thing I know, I saw a picture of, and I laughed. It's funny. I mean, anybody who's too serious about themselves in this business isn't going to last very long. Even now with all the perks of having, cell phones and all that stuff to help the time go by, there's still a good natured ribbing, going on. The stuff that the Steiners used to do back in the 90s. But it's certainly, you got to have a little bit of a thick skin, and my skin is pretty damn thick.
Yeah, didn't they used to stick Sharpies up people's asses?
Correct.
That was something that possibly happened. There might have been a trainer that they did that to. I don't know. I'm just making a story up. It was a different world back then, and we had to find a way to entertain ourselves. Most wrestlers,
You lost Tony.
most wrestlers are, most people in the business have a unique opportunity to be, pretty. What's the word I'm looking for? Another word I can't think of. Acting like a child. We're not exactly mature people in this thing called wrestling. Adolescent, a bit adolescent. So, you combine being a bit adolescent with having to make time go, entertain yourself during, drives and stuff like that. And some interest happened with pens and with tape and with, different stuff.
Let me ask you this. Are you a ribber, or are you one that gets the ribs done on you?
Mostly the ribs done on me. I pick my spots. I was up in Nashville for for TNA. Before I started there, they flew me up. They were going to start using their talent to indie shows, like to get a piece of the action. And I had a company where I booked independent wrestlers to do shows and got like a piece of the action, like 10%. So they were, and I mean, they set it up and all that. And then at the last minute, they decided to have Bob Ryder do it. But they up to Nashville one time, and I normally am not a ribber, but I happened to see Kurt Hennig put his paycheck that they handed him in his bag and walk into the shower. And so I decided, you know what, for all those freaking locks that were on my briefcase every freaking night, hanging from somewhere different on my briefcase, those padlocks, you know, it was time just to pay him back. So I grabbed it and I stuck it in my pocket, and he spent an hour and a half looking because, you know, he wasn't going to leave his paycheck. He spent an hour and a half looking for it. And I'd say, well, maybe he dropped in the shower. Did you check under this? And he'd go check under that again. And he was really getting activated. And I said, well, go look in the shower again. And I came back and I put it back on his thing. And he goes, you got me, man. I said, yeah, a year and a half of fucking padlocks in every building will do that. And then we went and got drunk. And he sang country music at what's the name of that place where he's actually his picture's on the wall now from across from the seat that he sits in, the famous place that they'll come to me. Tootsie's, yeah. And had a blast. Miss him a lot. A lot of guys. That's the unfortunate part of this is, you know, guys like Grunge and Ted Petty, who I loved. And, you know, it's just that's the tough part about this, because even though a lot of people are excited about reading the book, I mean, I wish Grunge was here so he could have read the stuff. And just at the end of the book, there's another story about Grunge that I think is hilarious. That I've always thought is hilarious. And it was something that happened after the last Nitro. And so, you know, that's just a shame, but you know, it's just life. You can't change it. But yeah, how much fun it would be to have those guys read the books. And then again, maybe I wouldn't have stooged them off. I don't know.
I don't know. I feel like enough time has gone past. Everybody's putting out a book, right?
And that's one of the reasons I really didn't want to put one out. Because, you know, hey, let's face it, my life doesn't compare to Jim Ross's, and certainly not to Becky Lynch's. So, I mean, you know, interesting story, but, you know, look, you know, we're at totally different levels in this business, and that's fine. I'm just happy to be at any level. I'm just happy to be around. It was a dream come true for 30 years. But, you know, so, you know, it's kind of, you know, hey, I have a book and Jim Ross has a book at the same time, like, yeah, read mine. And it's like, that's kind of a hard sell. But so that's why I like that we have that's why I like that we have the formats and shit, because if somebody says, well, that's a hard sell, I can say, yeah, but we got the last Nitro, or we got the Thunder where David Arquette won.
Yeah, but there's also two different, like, you know, Jim Ross was like, he was like doing fucking commentary, and here you were always there.
Yeah.
And then you got to like experience this all, and it's just seen through a different set of eyes versus, you know, Jim Ross having Vince McMahon fucking yell in his ear for 3 hours, and I got to read that drivel.
And Matt, I just don't.
Thank you. I appreciate that. The funny thing about Jim Ross, if you've ever talked to him, is, speaking of fucking, that guy can't fucking say 3 words without saying that word. And the fact that he never messed up on air. I mean, literally every second word or third word is that word. And that he's never screwed up and said it on air is, to me, is like incredible. Much mad props to that, because I mean, that's his vocabulary, basically. He starts with that and adds words in between.
Have you ever been caught dropping an F-bomb or cursing with the live microphone?
No, I have not. No, I have not. But I also don't drop them every word. So no, there's a bunch in the book. So if that offends you, probably should just read the formats. But,
Dave, I also don't want you to like shortchange yourself. I would put good money that you were probably the most like amongst fans, like impersonated ring announcer of all time, just with your cadence and your timbre and the way that you did your ring announcing. It was so distinct, so unique. It was just like, I think that you, like, when I mentioned Finkel before, like, you, granted, Finkel is the GOAT, right? We're not gonna sit here and talk about that, but I would imitate you more than I would Finkel.
That's funny that you say that, because until Twitter came along, I never knew that. I never in a million years knew that. And it's still fine. I'd have somebody on Twitter say, I used to do the David Penzer voice. And I'd say, what are you talking about? They'd say, I used to do, you introducing the matches. And I'd be like, no, you didn't. Yeah, famously, Brett Lauderdale, when I met him for the first time, great guy.
Yeah.
Told me that I used to do the day. And I said, no, you didn't. And he goes, yeah, I used to do it. And he like gave me an example. And I'm like, mind blown, I know that people did that, and buy it, but I mean, it's just, I never even thought in a million years. And the fact that, people are still talking about it, it's just crazy, man. Cause I got to do something that very few people get to do on a high level, which is live their dream. And blessed to have done so and continue to do so. And, just the fact that I was able to do it and people even give a shit, quite frankly, is amazing. The fact that they were doing my voice when they were, 18 years old or 17 years old, it blows my mind. So, God, if that's not, I don't know what else is.
Well, you talk about getting older, like those were like the best years of our life. Fucking get a 2-liter of Mountain Dew, some chips, and your friends, and you flip between fucking Raw and Nitro, or you tape one and then you watch the other. Like, it's funny because we've been doing this now for such a long time. We talk to a lot of the guys that we grew up watching, and like, they always seem surprised. Like, I don't think you guys realize how important you were in, like, the Shining Wizards Wrestling podcast doesn't happen without like Dave Penzer and fucking Chubby Dudley and Ricky Steamboat, and like all the, like, that's like our love for pro wrestling, and like we couldn't get enough of it back then. So you've definitely impacted a whole generation.
Yes. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Funny you mentioned switching back and forth. Back in the day when supposedly both shows like between 7 and 8 million people tune in, Jimmy Hart used to swear up and down. He'd say, there's no way that those people, that there's 15 million wrestling fans watching TV. He goes, they're switching the TV back and forth, and it counts on both. And the mock to people, and they all say, we were switching back and forth. The more I think Jimmy was much smarter than he even knew.
One of the things I wanted to ask you, because it always bothered me, because to me you're a wrestling guy, right? You're a wrestling announcer, and I loved your work. But then they would trot Buffer out there for things like the main events, and to me he wasn't a wrestling guy. And you're there every week doing what you're doing and doing a damn fine job at it. And then they trot him out there to introduce the main event. Did that ever, because that pissed me off when I was younger, did that ever bother you at all?
No, not at all. There's this little thing, and I'm not talking about Dusty Rhodes, other terms, this little thing called the American Dream, capitalism, where you could come up with a catchphrase that says, let's get ready to rumble and make $100 million. And people will pay you $10,000 to say it one time before their main events. And, it would be real easy to get bitter about that, but I'm a capitalism guy, and part of my success is capitalism, just in a different way. I didn't come up with something, but I was able to finagle myself into a spot, and I lived my dream. No, you got to respect that. And I've never had any hard feelings with him. There's a story in the book, actually, and I'll stooge it off. But and Guy Evans, I apologize in advance for stooging off one of the stories. But saw him at a boxing match. I'd say maybe 6-7 years ago down in South Florida at the Hard Rock Casino. And he went up to him afterwards and he said, I don't know if you remember my brother. His name is David Penzer. And he goes, of course I remember your brother. How's he doing? They went back and forth. He goes, and he said something. He says, I want you to tell something to your brother. And my brother said, okay. He said, I got lucky. He had talent. That meant the world to me.
That's pretty awesome.
And
it's not wrong. He's not wrong, by the way. Not to sound like a cocky prick, but he's not wrong. He got lucky. God bless him. He came up with a line. I wish I would have come up with a line.
Well, I'll tell you what. You had the line, and I'm pretty sure you already know this, but I would put his Ready to Rumble to shame over your The Giant. It was
you guys are giving me an ego. I have to walk back down to my wife after this, and you guys are giving me an ego, and she's going to say shit the hell down and go and fold the clothes because you're going to get.
I'm telling you, I'm not even like blowing smoke because you're on the show. I'll catch myself just like driving and be like, the Nature Boy, Ric Flair. Like it's just so insane how like ingrained your voice is in my head.
The funny thing is, a couple of years ago, somebody told me that Gallows did the David Penzer voice. And I was like, oh, that's cool. You know, that's really cool that he does that on his podcast. Is before I got to know him. And, and I finally heard the David Penzer voice and I realized it was Gary Michael Capetta he was doing. That's a shoot. He was doing Gary Michael Capetta. He's still to this day. They just brought the podcast back. When he does the Penzer voice, he's doing Gary Michael Capetta. And I never said anything to him because I'm like, you know what? If you think it's David Penzer's voice and you're putting me over, I'm gonna keep taking it.
Why does that not surprise me at all? Why does that not surprise me?
Awesome.
So your whole run in WCW, you got to be involved in the angle with Chris Jericho, where he would get really upset at you every time you announced a winner. He'd steal your chair, he'd bash it against the pole, and then he'd rip your he gave you a new jacket and everything. Was that Jericho's idea? And were you walk us through the whole genesis of that? Like, how does that come about where you went from being ring announcer to kind of part of the Jericho story on Nitro?
Well, Chris just came to me and said, I have this idea. You know, we were probably riding down the road together, and because he was one of the guys, he said, I have this idea, and he laid it out for me. He said, I want to turn chicken shit heel, and this is how I think I could do it. And plus we could get you over a little bit and, give you some FaceTime. And he went to Terry Taylor, and Terry signed off on it. And or Terry Taylor got somebody to sign off on it, but I know that it was between Terry and whoever, Kevin or Eric or whoever. And the funny thing, the amazing thing about Chris, and there's a lot of greatest times and stuff like that, but there's no doubt in my mind that as far as reinventing himself as different characters that were always entertaining and always drew money, that guy is the greatest of all time. There's nobody better than him. And it's because of the little things he did. You mentioned the chair. So yeah, he'd take the chair and he'd the ring post and he'd rip my tuxedo off. He'd come back the next week and he'd have a tuxedo for me, which is nice. But then he'd also bring a chair in a building that has 5,000 chairs in it. The last thing I needed in an arena was to sit on. But it's the little things he did like that, like the clicking of the pen before he said you're on the list. I mean, think about how, that got a pop, just the clicking of the pen. And the guy's brilliant when it comes to that. And I see he's doing something else. I haven't gotten a chance to look at it yet. Something about the learning tree. Only thing about that is I'm sure he'll do a great job, and I hope it pisses Myers off.
Yeah, I knew you were going to go there.
And I think I saw Jericho trademarked it. So now, so Brian can't even can't even go back and say, hey, that was my stuff. Sorry, I trademarked it. You didn't.
Too slow, Myers. Too slow. Now we know you're working on a volume 2 that will cover your time in TNA. Is there anything that didn't make it into the book on volume 1 that you kind of wish had made it in there?
Yeah, the Terror Rising story. I totally forgot. Actually, volume 2 is going to be it's going to be a lot of TNA in there, a lot of Impact. Unfortunately, my inside knowledge of the whole Chris Benoit crap, I hate that we have to do that, but if I'm going to write a book, I might as well tell, things I know. And I've told people, I've said it before on my podcast. But it's going to be also a lot about the XWF, the Lost promotion. I have all the you know, you think I have a lot of formats and stuff. I have the original business plans and file sheets of the XWF that nobody else has ever seen before. Hell, I don't even think Knobs ever saw it. He just probably, somebody put it together and they said yes, and he was, you know, and Knobs was in charge. So I don't want to get too over that, but there's a lot of people, man. You mentioned XWF in the Impact locker room, people and the boys' ears perk up, you know, because, you know, they were watching that and they heard about it, and then it just never happened and it went away and nobody really said anything. So, you know, I was pretty much a part of all of it. I mean, writing team, talent relations, you know, even so much as when they sent somebody to go edit the tapes. And I didn't literally edit the tapes, but I had decisions like, you know, because the tapes went over and you had to cut down a show to 40 minutes, you know, so commercials could be in it. Well, that's a lot of tedious stuff. I was in Oklahoma City for like a week and a half. And, you know, do you want 10 seconds here cut or do you want 10 seconds cut? You know, and they trusted me to do that. So, you know, I'm not trying I'm not trying to put myself over, but if anybody knows the ins and outs of what happened there, man, it's me. And I wasn't just sitting ringside, man. I was writing the. So I'm looking forward to finally getting that out and you know, telling that story. So that should be fun.
Yeah, I think that's something that the XWF stuff is super fun, and I don't think enough people talk about it. And I'm excited to hear the ins and out of the Arena Mero versus Roddy Piper power struggle.
Yeah, but hey, I'm going to tell where that was going to go in the book. I mean, those storylines were going somewhere. Just they never went in. They bumped into a wall. And funny enough, you know, I'm joking, but that wall was the Turner executives, because when the Turner executive canceled, you know, the WC in a much weaker place than it had been, for sure. The ratings were down from what they were at its peak, for sure, but the ratings were still pretty damn good. And, you know, for a comparable, you know, show. And when the Turner just gave up on it and canceled it and sold it in a fire sale to WWE, WWF at the time, all of a sudden, all the other television executives were going, they must know something we don't know. Wrestling must hot right now. I don't think we want to spend money on wrestling. And, you know, so that's why TNA started out as a weekly pay-per-view, and then they had to pay to get on TV before they finally were able to get a paying gig. I mean, it totally shut down the business for a better part of 7 years. And you know, I always just assumed that TNA, that they had a TV deal, because why would you spend all that money if you didn't have a TV deal? But you know, they didn't have one, and they couldn't get one, and into that. But yeah, it really it stymied the business for a while, and I'm glad it's in a good place now. And you know, you could hate one company and love the other company. I don't care. I just love professional wrestling, and you know. If people are enjoying a product, good for them. But all the tribalism I don't get, but that's a whole nother rant.
Yeah, we talk about, again, we grew up during the era, like, if there was wrestling on, like, we wanted to watch it, and we didn't care. We didn't care what promotion it was. It was pro wrestling, and we were in. Being a part of all the Nitros and all the Thunders and just being ringside, did you ever shit your pants sitting out there during a Nitro or Thunder?
I never did. No, I never did.
Really?
That's actually a good question. I probably would now if I had to be out there for 3 hours every night. But I guess that would depend how much vodka I drank the night before. But you know, seriously though, no, I never did. Actually, I never even had to leave to pee. Even with the at 57 years old doing a 3.5 hour pay-per-view, there was a couple times that I thought I might have to tap out and go find a bathroom for Impact, but in between matches. But I never did. I was always able to hold it in, for lack of a better word.
Was there ever like a Nitro or Thunder where you watched somebody else like go into the ring? Like, I know Kurt Hennig used to poop under the ring, right?
Well, he did that as a rib. Maybe,
Of course.
maybe, not really. You know, ring announcer is a very unique position because, you know, most of the work that I did were during commercial breaks because that's when I entertained the audience. So say a Bobby Heenan, and I'm just picking him out of you know, just out of the head, but say he needed to go take a pee, or something else. He could go during the commercial break. Well, I couldn't because I was working, but I couldn't during the matches because it would make it look stupid. Because if I wasn't sitting there to announce the winner, it would make it obvious that it was timed. And back then, stuff mattered. So I really never got an opportunity. So it's a good thing that I had a strong maintenance about me, so to speak, because yeah, I never even thought about that. But I did think about it when I was within those 3.5-hour pay-per-views when it was getting tough, but I never thought about it back in the day. No.
HK, I'm not going to ask your questions, HK. This is for you now.
Okay. All right, Mr. Penzer. Two things, just quickly. I want to get. How do you feel about winking? Right, just giving a wink. How do you feel about a wink? You use a wink?
I'm not a winker. I'm a wanker, okay. But I'm not a winker.
Okay, well, that's pretty much all of us. Other thing I wanted to ask, so you get home, right? You're done for the day, right? You know that you're going to relax. When you're inside the comfort of your own home and it's time for you to relax, are you wearing socks in the house?
No, never.
My man.
Never.
Do you keep a tally of this, HK?
Yeah, I got a tally going.
Okay.
I wear boxer shorts and usually like a hoodie or something because we like to keep it cold in the house. So I'll put on like a hoodie or a pullover and that's my and I mean as soon as I get in the house. If I'm out showing a house for real estate, the first place I go is I take it off and put on the form and you know, I guess maybe that's because I had to wear a tuxedo every night. And so, you know, trying to get the comfort back that, you know, maybe I didn't have back then. But yeah, it's all about comfort. Josh Matthews once saw me walking in an airport. He said, "That's what you wear on a plane?" I was wearing, you know, a pair of gym shorts and t-shirt and flip-flops. And I said, "Yeah." He goes, "How could you wear that on a plane?" I said, "Dude, I'm 57 years old. I've been doing this for 30 years. I don't give a shit the comfort. It's all about comfort. I don't care what anybody thinks of me. You know, I'm not looking to make friends or find a new wife or you know, I don't care. You know, it's at the end of the day when you get to be a certain age, it's all about comfort and nothing else matters. And that's that. I will die on a hill for that one.
So let me ask you this: if you're showing somebody a house, do you ever walk in and by mistake think you're home and start taking your pants off?
No.
Like Tony's been watching too many. Tony's been watching too many videos. What I do ask you.
Yeah, to catch a realtor. Wasn't there a show like To Catch a Realtor or something?
Oh, Mr. Penzer, why don't you have a seat?
Coming out of the chat, and everybody pretty much wants to know this because we do have one wizard on the panel here that does not like to wear deodorant. Mr. Penzer, when you get out of the shower, you're putting on deodorant, aren't you? You're a regular guy.
Of course I wear deodorant.
Of course you do.
Do people not wear deodorant?
Yeah.
Misleading.
No.
HPP over here.
This, first of all, fuck the context, dickhead. Okay.
Oh, come on now.
No. Because this happens every fucking time he asks this question. He doesn't give the context. I wear deodorant all the time. Before I do the show, I take a shower. If I know I'm not leaving the house, I won't put on deodorant.
Old stinky pits.
I don't know. So what you're saying is you're not going out. Nobody's smelling you. You just took a shower and you're sitting down to do the show.
Yes.
I wouldn't throw a flag on that one. Yeah, I do it out of habit, but I wouldn't throw a flag on that one. You know, I do it because I want to smell good when I'm out amongst people. But if I'm sitting by myself, I don't really care.
Right. So like
I might try that sometime.
When we're done tonight, I have to go to the ShopRite to get some stuff to make dinner. I will put on deodorant before I leave the house.
Yeah, it's just in a different order. But it doesn't mean it's the wrong order. It's just different order.
You fucking asshole. Like, I don't put deodorant on, you piece of shit, Handsome Kevin.
Wow, why are you so angry?
No, because he makes it sound like I never put deodorant on. He's like, one of us never wears deodorant.
Well, it says it right there on the gimmick.
You son of a bitch. Well, I lost a bet. Let me show you what I'm supposed to look like, Mr. Penzer.
The thing is, too, David, is that his wife still lives there with him. There's other people in his home.
They share the marital bed this evening after the show. So, you know, if he starts pitting, it could be a problem.
She don't got a problem with it.
She keep that clothespin on the nightstand?
Shut up, dickhead.
Who's that supposed to be?
I'm supposed to be Shawn Michaels.
It looks like Joe Laurinaitis when he first started doing the Road Warrior gimmick in Georgia Championship Wrestling, and he looked like one of the villains.
That is a great callback.
Yeah, and he went back to that gimmick in like 2005 in WWE.
Hey. Hey, you know any girls that want to take a dump on me?
No, Joe Laurinaitis.
No, Joe, not
Joe.
not power to the people, Laurinaitis. Not Johnny Ace.
Well, look, they got me a hat. It's a size small. It doesn't fit my stupid
that's an
head.
official HBK beret, whatever you want to call it.
Yes, but it's a small. I'm an adult. I need a big hat for my head.
Don't let him lie.
Don't
let him lie to you. Don't let him lie to you, Mr. Penzer. That is a one size.
I think the most surprising thing I got out of this whole conversation is they actually sell a AAA, or not AAA, a AAA, what did you call it? A benet?
Beret, whatever. Yeah, it's the Shawn Michaels beret.
It's a shit.
They sell that like on WWEshop.com.
Oh, that's an official gimmick. Yeah, you see the zebra stripes on top?
From like 1995.
This is old.
Oh my God.
It's got the WWF logo on it.
Wow. Who knew?
Yeah, and it's a size small. These dickheads sent me a size small.
Well, we were buying for the wrong head. If I have to be,
I think it's too late to send it back. So I guess you're stuck with it.
Yeah, I've been sweating in it the last 3 weeks, and these stupid gloves turn my hands red. Sorry, Mr. Penzer. I know you're promoting a book. You have to listen to us argue like idiots.
No, it's fine. Please call me David, though.
Well, thank you, David. Now I feel red. Shut up. Dickhead. Well, David Penzer, this has been a... What?
David's been a great guest. We're talking about his books. We're telling stories. All of a sudden, it's like Matt's angry for the rest of the show. Like, I don't understand.
Yeah, no, because
we're having fun.
Because HK goes and he tries to paint me in this corner as some chud who doesn't put deodorant on.
No, I didn't hear that at all. I don't know.
I did.
Listen back. It says it right on the screen.
All right, David. You don't. It's the internet. You don't believe everything you read. Jesus, come on, guys. I gotta change my name back to HB Double T. No deodorant.
Oh my God.
The worst. I fixed it. And this is only for I got to do this next week too because I missed last week because it was my wife's birthday. Then I'll be back to regular Matt. I can wear like a tank top or something.
Oh, Dave, while we have you on, how do you feel about guys getting pedicures and getting their toenails painted?
I did that once. My wife said I would enjoy it. I didn't. I never did, but I have nothing against anybody who does.
Okay. Did you get your toenails painted though as well?
No. I think they put like a white, like a clear deal on it.
Clear, yes.
Like a lacquer.
Yeah,
a lacquer, exactly.
There you go.
But yeah, no, it wasn't really for me. But I know people that I know a lot of guys do it, and it doesn't bother me in the least. Whatever floats your boat, man. You only live once, so if you don't want to put deodorant on, don't put deodorant on it. If you want to,
God damn
your nails painted.
God damn it!
Dave, I feel like I went from Mr. Penzer to David to Dave. You're Dave now. Right?
You're Dave.
So Dave.
You'll be 5 more calling me dickhead.
Dude, I feel like we
No,
know
we
each other
saved that for
well enough
HB
now
double
to
T.
do that. I feel like you're like, were you a hippie? Like, I feel like you're like, were you like into like festivals and sandals and all that stuff?
It's not that old. Jesus.
I had a ponytail.
I would call your doctor as soon as possible. You just seem like such a free spirit. That's all.
Man, I can't let myself get worked up over anything. Mess with my family, mess with my livelihood maybe, but life's too short, and I've been so to turn it back around to the book, but I've been so blessed, man, and the more I do these interviews, the more I realize how cool what I did was. At the time, I think it was going by so quickly. I didn't realize it was just doing it every freaking night, 25 nights a week between house shows and pay-per-views and TV and all that. And the travel in between. And I don't want to say I didn't enjoy it, take a step back and enjoy it, because I did, but I don't think I did until after it was over, because you're running so hard, and after it was over, you could take a step back and say, that was pretty freaking cool.
Do you have a favorite piece of WCW memorabilia?
I did, and then I sold it.
Oh.
Like a fleece pullover. Actually, somebody just posted a picture of it on Twitter that they bought it from me a couple years ago. It was like a gray fleece with the Nitro logo on it. I have a couple still that I wear, but I mostly got rid of them. But was it this podcast I talked about throwing out 2 garbage bags full of T-shirts?
Yep. Yeah.
I want to double check, because I've done so many of these. They kind of run concurrent. But I think that was like, you know what? Just monetize while you can, because so I'd say about 2.5 years ago, I just put everything up. I didn't even put it on eBay. I just put it on Twitter, and I did put it on eBay. Sorry, but I put it on Twitter and with a link, and you can't take it with you. So I still have a couple of things. I still have a really cool one that I can't find. Nitro Kiss shirt.
Mm. Oh boy.
So
wow.
When Kiss was on Nitro, they had a special shirt with the Nitro logo and the Kiss logo, and the guys in makeup and stuff, and smoke and fireworks. And I saw that a couple years ago, and I know I didn't throw it out, but so one of these days I'm getting ready to downsize, move out of my house. So hopefully I'll find it. If not, I'll leave it for whoever buys.
Gene Simmons charged an arm and a leg for the T-shirt.
Gene Simmons, man, what a businessman!
Oh yeah.
I may be wrong, but I'm surprised they don't sell Kiss condoms.
They had Kiss condoms.
Kiss condoms.
Oh,
Go
of
to
course
the
they
vending
did.
machine.
They had to, if they were selling caskets too, no?
Yep.
They
Yeah,
sold everything.
caskets. Yeah, no, he'll sell anything, and he's a licensing maniac. But you know what? Very smart guy. I've gotten to meet him a couple of times. Very smart guy, very, very witty, and he's full of himself. But if I was Gene Simmons, I'd pretty be full of myself too, probably.
Yeah.
But you're not in a like putting you down way. Just it's the world's about Kiss and Gene Simmons, and everything else takes a back seat. But it's not like in a negative way. You just hey, if you're Gene Simmons, you're going to be full of yourself. That's just the way it's going to be. But,
in
they'll sell
2007,
anything.
Kiss released the Kiss condom spelled with a K. It was a long white condom with, guess what, Gene Simmons' face and his tongue on it.
Of course they did. And I love that they did it with a K.
Nothing says let's have a sex like my
And there's and by the way,
condo.
just so because I'm good friends with Dale Torborg. He's actually the one who introduced me to Gene. Just so you know, like there's not like some nerds like in an office somewhere coming up with that crap. That's all Gene Simmons. All of it, the spelling, the ideas, it's all Gene Simmons. Gene Simmons is a marketing licensing maniac, and he comes up with it on its own, and he's in charge of all of it. And he might have an assistant or something, but that's all his ideas. That's just all he thinks about every day and every night is what could I use this brand that I've created that's so successful to make money on. And he has no shame. God bless him.
You could buy a 3-pack on eBay for $31, although I don't think the person selling it should put it as pre-owned.
Well,
I mean,
I
it's
should have
not
bought some of those
pre-used.
back in the day. That has $31. Geez.
They can't be good now, 10 to 15 years later.
No, but a Kiss fan will put it on their mantle and
have his wife sing Domino into it.
yeah. But yeah, they're some of the most loyal fans in the world, man. And I guess they're doing like this cartoon version. I don't know. Only thing that pissed me off is they should have brought back for the last concert. They should have brought back Ace Frehley and Peter Criss.
yeah.
Don't worry, they'll be on farewell tour again in about 5 years, I'm sure.
No, I would have bought it. I saw Kiss's farewell tour, but I would have bought the pay-per-view if they would have brought back those guys. But because they didn't, I didn't buy it because I had just seen them in concert. So Gene Simmons, who's so worried about how much money he could take with him. And I say that with all respect, but if he wouldn't let his ego, if he wouldn't let his ego get in the way, and he invited those guys to sing a song or play a song or something, how cool would it have been to hear Beth by Chris? I mean, that would have sold itself probably another 50,000 pay-per-views. But it is what it is. I'm getting off on a tangent, guys.
No, you're good, David. This has been an absolute blast. We appreciate you taking the time out of your busy schedule. At David Penzer on Twitter, davidpenzerbook.com. You can buy the Sitting Ringside Volume 1. You could also get it on Amazon, where I got mine. But I know Guy and David have a couple different tiers where they are sending out some extra goodies. So go to davidpenzerbook.com. And then Volume 2 will be out right now. It's planned for October, so keep your ear to the ground on that. And follow David on Twitter, at David Penzer.
And tag me on this show on Twitter.
Yeah, baby.
Yep.
Oh, we
Everyone
will, David.
needs to listen to this. This has been a blast, so everybody needs to listen to this. I've had a lot of fun, guys.
Well, we appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule and joining us. And, we'd love to have you back on when Volume 2 comes out.
Let me give you a hint. Let me give you a hint, though. I'm a realtor with that 8% interest rates. I'm not that busy.
There it is.
All right. Well, but still your time, you could be.
Yeah, I know. No, I work hard. You just got to work harder than everybody else and hope that it pays off. And it is, but it's a tough sell, these days when people were used to 2% interest rates. And, So anyway, since I'm dropping that info, if anybody's moving to Florida, knows somebody moving to Tampa area, Clearwater, St. Pete, or needing to sell a house, tell them to look me up. Give me a call. I'm happy to tell wrestling stories while I'm showing houses.
Shit. If I would have known, I was down in Clearwater a couple weeks ago. Were you
going to buy a house?
I mean, look, I'm always looking for I'm in North Jersey. It sucks here half the year, so I'm always looking for a little more tropical weather. I don't know if it's in the cards right now, but
when it comes time to buy a house, look me up, man.
Fuck yeah, dude, of course. Me and Dave, we're gonna go looking at houses together. I like it.
No, he's gonna. No, you're not gonna. He's
No,
gonna
you're
try
not-
and sell.
Yeah, get him, Matt.
Jesus Christ.
He's gonna show me the houses. I'm not like an internet idiot. I'm not gonna just buy a house based on a picture. I want to see what I'm getting.
And then when this is a true story. When you close, I have a closing tomorrow. I have to bring it. When you close, I have this big championship with a picture of a house with a sold sign. and it says "Real Estate World Champion," and you get to pose with it at closing.
That is cool as shit, man. That's awesome.
Good. Move to Florida, you fucking Mark. Get out of here.
I'll be in Florida in 2 weeks. Not in his neck of the woods, but
Oh, don't please. He's trying to sell houses, guys. Don't fucking tell me you're just gonna be on vacation, all right?
I think he's trying to go have dinner. I mean,
it depends on who's buying the cocktails.
I'll do it.
All right. Look at that.
Maybe go co-op on a house, huh, guys?
That's right.
Now, wait, David, have you ever been to Hogan's Hangout? Because that's where Tony went, like a real Mark.
Yeah, I was at his old house in the day, and a bunch of times. But the one that was on Hogan Knows Best, not the one in Miami, but the one up here. But yeah, I was there for Knobs had his 60th birthday party there, and they had a room there, head off, and got to see Hulk and Brian and a lot of old friends that I hadn't seen in a long time. And that's always fun to do those things, to do those conventions or whatever, or to go be invited to a party like that. That was fun. And Hulk's always a class act. I know he's done some stuff that I know for a fact he regrets, but he's always a class act.
Nice.
You brought up Knobs. I gotta ask.
Here we go. No.
I gotta ask.
Oh,
Have
no,
you?
no.
Yes. Don't
Back
do
here
that.
if you need me.
Have you seen the Brian Knobs butthole picture?
I've seen it in person, not the picture. I still have nightmares over that.
Right? Like, how does that get like that? It's a lot, more questions than terror.
You know, somebody mentioned that the other day, and I was like, how does that get like that? I'm not exactly sure, and I don't really want to know because Brian's my friend, but and you know, and this is not like
Dave,
this is not like a homosexual thing. Brian Knobs is happily married and he'd still be my great friend. I could care less about stuff like that. I'm more worried about like what else would he use to have expanded it that much.
Sounds like he got Steinerized.
Oh no.
Yeah, he would just walk out of a bar and pull down his pants and show it to everybody.
Not gonna lie, this went a lot better than I thought.
That's like the party trick.
Oh my god.
Holy
Oh my god.
shit.
Him and Lanny Poffo fucking work in a room.
That's funny.
Oh my god.
And then Flair used to do the deal where in the bar and usually the hotel bars, and he'd drink too much and he'd pull down his pants because Flair is nothing to be ashamed of in that. And then he'd flip it around in like a circle and like he'd sing a song. I forget the song. One time in Manchester, England, my wife was actually got to see that. So I don't know if she could say she was lucky or not, but she saw the fence, and you can't forget shit like that either. At least his is impressive. Knobs is totally. This is impressive.
What if he creamed in your face? Would you like it? I don't think you would. What is wrong with you? HB double T is just off the rails now. Oh my god.
Well, David Penzer, thank
Dave,
you very much.
Please don't wait till October. Please come back before then. This was amazing.
Sure, man. Anytime. Yeah. Well, awesome. Somebody DM me on Twitter, and we'll open up a line of communication. This is a lot of fun. So.
Oh fuck yeah, dude! I'm glad you had a great time. This was awesome.
I'm so glad Guy reached out again, guys. Seriously, Sitting Ringside. Volume 1 is available, David Penzer, book.com, amazon.com. Just throw in Sitting Ringside Volume 1. It's a fun, easy read with a lot of very funny stories, and then the bonus content alone. Like, I was looking through this, there's so much amazing stuff in here, just like how in-depth WCW gets in 2000 with their run sheets, and if you're a wrestling fan and you like stuff like this, like the nerdy stuff, like this is right in your wheelhouse. And I know a lot of people were excited when Guy started sharing what was going to be in this book. So hopefully you're going out there, you're buying this. David tells a lot of great stories like he told tonight on the podcast. And there's a lot more in the book. So check it out. Again, David Penzer, book.com, at David Penzer on the Twitter machine. Give him a follow. David, enjoy the rest of your night, and we'll talk soon, hopefully.
Yes, sir. Thank you guys so much. And hey, put deodorant on next time.
Fucker.
Oh,
God
Dave,
damn
I
it.
love you, man. You are awesome. Have a great
Hey,
night.
and tell Brian Myers to blow me.
David Penzer, everybody.
All right.
G'day,
Take
dude.
care, guys. Thank you. Appreciate
Good night,
it.
David.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's incredible.
Tell whoever's doing the clips now for fucking 2 hours and 10 minutes. Blow me, Brian Myers. Can we name that the episode?
I have a lot. I'll write it down.
Holy shit, that was
I
a
have like
fucking
5.
hoot.
Oh my god.
God damn, pal.
Dude, what a great guy.
You got to change the way you ask that question, handsome Kevin. You throw me
What's
right
the
under
problem?
You throw me because you're fucking. It's misleading.
No, he asked it
misleading.
perfectly fine, dude. It was
No, he does not ask it perfectly fine because it's false. And I have fucking deodorant on tonight because HB Double T puts on deodorant.
Well, you should. What do you want, a medal for doing what you're
Right.
supposed to do?
Yeah.
Eat a shit.
Ugh.
Oh, yeah. I got to rework my questions. Now using my lines.
Yeah, you have to rework your because you make it sound like I never fucking put on deodorant. Shit,
I didn't get that at all. I don't know
Yeah.
what you're talking about.
I think you're the only one that
I'm with
heard it
Matt.
that way.
I'm with Matt.
Yeah, these two fucking assholes always sticking together.
They text in the morning when they wake up. What are you
Yeah.
fucking? What's that about?
I'm like,
Well,
oh,
you
where?
jealous for not texting you, me Wanda Punani?
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Meanwhile,
just
I'm
get
like,
back, all right.
I'm like, we need something for 700. Fucking crickets, nothing. But these two are fucking sharing Steven Seagal gifts about the poo nanny.
Gifts. I wish Steven Seagal is a gift.
No, he's not. Fuck you, Matthew Birch, you shitbird. Maybe you should be HB Double T all the time so you wear deodorant more often.
He makes a really good point.
You know what? I like you, Matthew Birch, and then you come out swinging like that. We're going to have problems.
Right there. Me Wanda Punani.
You fucking shithead.
Nothing like getting to work, having my first cup of coffee in the morning, getting a fucking text from HK. Life is good.
First cup
fucking-
of coffee? How
there
many
was
cups of
fucking-
coffee?
Usually like 3.
It was like one morning. It was, it was like maybe 6 o'clock my time. I grabbed my phone. I was about to text him, me Wanda Punani. And this motherfucker beat me to it. I was on Juan. And text comes through, me Wanda Punani.
You guys
You guys suck. You guys suck.
I'm leaning towards HB Double T's point
You
of view.
suck shit, the two of you, through fucking
We don't
crazy
suck shit.
straws.
We don't suck shit. You suck shit. Eat a shit.
Yahtzee.
All right, I'm done. I'm leaving the show. Are you guys No, going on fuck and you,
Oh,
on? dude. No,
Man,
fuck
you're
you,
done.
dude.
We didn't even talk any wrestling this
I don't
week.
give a dude. It's 9 o'clock. I'm talking
Oh,
to
it's
my fucking
9
wife.
o'clock. I gotta go to sleep.
Fucking idiots.
Back after this.
Oh, you do we? Oh, I don't have anything.
Oh,
to
you're gonna
do.
leave me with the fucking clothes. Here we go. See, another thing. He's just leaving me with the bag. At least he
No,
gave
no,
me
no,
a week's
no, no,
notice
no.
that he won't be here next week.
No.
No, I'm not leaving. I'm not going anywhere. I just have to,
No, this fucking old decrepit shit. The fucking crypt keeper's got to go to sleep now.
All right, I'm giving you the commercials. Then when we come back, I'm getting the fuck out of here. So,
All right, but leave
Kevin,
me the closing too.
you have it. I said
I don't
want
want to fucking pull it all up. It's not my responsibility.
Do you understand? Once I leave, my video files go with me. Like,
You're the
leave it in the
fucking
room.
worst.
Kev, give me 3.
back
Fucking
after
shit.
this.
You shit sucking.
We'd like to thank each and
cocksucker.
every one of you for tuning in every Monday night to listen to The Shining Wizards. If you'd like to continue to support us outside of listening, we've got a few ways for you to do that. If you shop at Amazon, go over to amazon.shiningwizards.com, do your shopping as usual, and when you make your purchase, a little bit of that purchase price will go back to support the show. If you like to wear t-shirts, merch.shiningwizards.com will take you to our Pro Wrestling Tees store, where we've got over a dozen great designs from over 11 years of professional wrestling podcasting. You can become a Patreon supporter at patreon.com/wizardspodcast, and the more you support us, the more things that you're entitled to receive, and believe me, they are fantastic. Continue to listen to us wherever you listen to us on the World Wide Web, and make sure you like, rate, review, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Helps us out, and we can continue to bring you the love fest that is The Shining Wizards.
It's time for your weekly lineup of shows on the Shining Wizards Network. On Mondays, check out the latest from Gorilla Brain, featuring the year of Duke and Rogue, covering the history of wrestling year by year. Also from Gorilla Brain is the Tots Pod with Handsome Kevin and Loverboy Al, telling people to get off the lawn and reviewing wrestling figures. Also on Mondays, get your horror fix with 30 Screams or Less featuring Steve and Corey, where they review a horror film in 30 minutes or less. Monday nights live, it's The Shining Wizards, where it's wrestling talk and talk about wrestling. Wednesday nights, it's the Mark Order Podcast, covering everything AEW with Ant Money, Kate the Great, Ryan Schlong, and Asian Joe. Get your metal fix on Fridays with Snowy and Aaron on Radioactive Metal, the longest running metal podcast on the planet. Saturdays, it's High Five Tom and Will Mercier on ROH Revelry, covering the history of Ring of Honor. On Sundays, it's Inconclusive Breakdown with Justin and Vince, covering the week in pop culture, politics, and more. The Shining Wizards Network also features other great shows, including Bread Club, where Kieran and Matt cover everything New Japan Pro Wrestling. The Brocast, where brothers Alan and Tom watch some of the greatest and not-so-great matches in wrestling. Turnbuckle Throwbacks, where the Impact Playa Phil Rhea discusses current wrestling while paying homage to the past. And Wrestling Night in Canada, where Snowy, Matt, and Dustin put a north of the border perspective on the world of wrestling. Enjoy all the great shows on the Shining Wizards Network. Entertainment, here.
I thought Matt was frozen.
No, I gotta fucking find this stupid thing now.
Do you want me to just send it to you?
I think I have the February producers.
It should be listed as. Let me see. Producers February Volume 3, right?
Yes.
Yep, that's the one.
Right. Suck a shit.
That's not very nice. It's
That is
eat a
very-
shit.
Yeah.
Suck a cock, eat a shit.
Right.
Whatever.
You're bastardizing my saying now.
Yeah, bro,
Yeah,
you're
well-
bringing back cocksucking. You got to get it right.
Right.
Why is my voice like that?
That's
That's not very nice.
File, move to desktop. Fucking asshole. What are you fucking
Really?
laughing at, you shitbird? Really?
I almost-
What?
I almost want to grab Jerk and Drew Gulak off the fucking wall over here, too.
Yeah, well, he ain't doing anything, so he's got plenty of time now. So
All right, real quick before I go, you think that was budgetary related, or you think like, hey, this is just an excuse to let him go?
it was an excuse to let him go.
You really think there's some legs to that Ronda Rousey
No,
thing?
but I just think they're just trying to cleanse the WWE of anything like that.
Yeah, but I don't know, man. I think that's if that's the reason, that's pretty unfortunate.
Of course, it's unfortunate, but you can't the Vince thing isn't going away anytime soon. Even if
Yeah.
he can hire whatever PR people he wants to tell us he fucking got puppies and fucking dogs for his friends.
What?
Nobody gives a shit.
What? But what kind of shit is that? Like, I've got all these kittens and puppies.
Dude, it's somebody got hired to do it's a good idea if we make him look like he's a giving person with animals. I don't fucking know.
Yeah, but bringing puppies and kittens back from some foreign country, like to give out to your friends, like it's just such a weird fucking thing.
Perhaps he thought there were different puppies.
Ah,
Different
puppy. Oh, and then they gave him a box. And he's like, "What do I do with this shit?" Oh my god! And he's like going back home. He's like, "I sound like the king, freeing the puppies."
Now, I know you want to go, and I don't want to tie you up here, but I do want to. Tony Khan was on that show Friday, and he referred to the WWE as the Harvey Weinstein of wrestling.
Yeah, and he compared AEW to Pepsi. So If he's trying to be funny, fail. If he's trying to say like WWE is all like sexual predators, fail. Like, I don't know. Like, why say something like that?
Because he's a moron.
Yep.
It's not even like a tongue-in-cheek kind of dig. It's just like, hey, this sounds like it might be a good idea to put out there into the world.
All right, so maybe moron was not accurate, but what he said was moronic.
Accurate.
No, he's a fucking billionaire. He knows what he's
He is the son of a billionaire.
No,
Yeah,
but
that's true.
yeah, yes, but he like still does important things. So.
No, his father's money does important things for him. He just pulls the strings.
All right, so that's still something. You can't be a dope and do that.
Be born into money? Yeah, you can.
No, that you could do, but you can't still run aspects of businesses by being a dope.
I think Kim Kardashian's got a better head on her shoulders, and her claim to fame was a sex tape. You know?
I don't think he should have used that platform to throw that out there, but I don't think he's entirely wrong.
It's just a dumb thing to say.
I agree, but like the WWE, like not saying everybody at WWE is sexual predators, but that because now like people are upset that he said that and people have friends there. They're not talking about wrestlers. It's the infrastructure. The head of the company created a culture where this stuff was okay. And now Nick Khan and company have to go through and clear fucking house, which is what we're seeing. But for a long time, these actions were turned a blind eye to.
Fucker can't even make an analogy right. He said, we're Pepsi and they're Harvey Weinstein.
Yeah, that annoyed me.
Motherfucker can't even do an analogy. He can't even analogy.
Is that what you took away? Did you take away the sexual predator kind of? Obviously, you guys did. I didn't get that when I heard him say
That's
that.
who Harvey Weinstein is.
Right. Again, agreed.
Well, I mean, his conviction was overturned, so
I just literally thought that I thought it was just like the pure evil aspect of it, but I guess that encompasses it. But it's what Tony Khan is fighting a battle that he's never going to win, ever, ever. So to say something like that, comes across so fucking moronic, and today's WWE is not what it was.
No, 100% not. He's definitely. I'm with you. He should have never said anything. He should have said, "We are Pepsi and they are Coke," or vice versa, or Burger King, or McDonald's, or anything. He just continues. Look, I give him his props for wearing the neck brace at the draft.
Awesome.
Right? Keep a kayfabe alive. But then you come out and you say goofy shit. Stop. Just stop. You're making yourself. What did he say a couple weeks ago? He thinks people fighting over AEW and WWE is what keeps the business alive. It's not. People are going to watch AEW that want to watch AEW. People that watch WWE are going to watch that. There is people who will watch both. Nobody, WWE will exist long after AEW is gone or has been around for 30 years. They're in a completely different fucking atmosphere. And he's living in some weird world of his own.
Yeah, that's a perfect way to say it. And he's coming off of a pay-per-view that was fantastic in Dynasty, a follow-up on Dynamite, which I thought was probably the best show that they've done in I can't even tell you how long. I thought the angle, despite everyone could always say it could have been done this way, it could have been done that way, but for what it was, the Jack Perry stuff, the microphone to the gut and flat back, it was just so good. There was nothing absolutely wrong, and he should have just. And then him wearing the neck brace at the draft, he should have just. Then he said something like that and totally just deflates the room, man. He had such a positive week and such a publicity-filled week that he just couldn't stop himself.
He wore the neck brace at the draft, which would have been nice. It would have been a nice touch had he actually worn the neck brace. It was all loose as shit, and he didn't. He was still.
Still,
if you're gonna fucking do it, fucking do it.
Yeah, for somebody who knows,
don't half-ass the bullshit.
For somebody
barely
who
put the thing on, and then oh, my neck.
Fuck
guys are
you.
such fucking weirdos, man.
He should have Andy Kaufman that shit. Andy Kaufman knew how to sell a fucking
Andy
injury.
Kaufman's an actor. Tony Khan's a businessman who got caught up in the moment of
His
two
father's
different
a businessman.
businesses, and he was on the draft trying to sell a wrestling angle and didn't know how to do it. I'm not holding his feet to the fire for that.
Did he really think he was going to get people to tune into the NFL draft? Like, what was the end game of that?
I'll tell you what. I know the NFL Network, Rich Eisen mentioned that he had gotten pile driven on TV the night before. That's why he was in a neck brace.
Yeah, he's a fan. Rich Eisen is a wrestling fan. And yeah, okay. So like, yeah, of course Tony Khan's not bringing in viewers to the NFL draft or the NFL Network or wherever he was on, but people we're still talking about it. Like, it's like, and all right. So I know they cut him off as soon as he made the Harvey Weinstein analogy. They like sent him on his merry way. But I'm telling you right now, I think it's a win for them, man. Like, other than the comment.
He just, and I think Big G said it here. TK can't stop putting his foot in his mouth.
Exactly.
I bet you it's a manicured foot. Or pedicured. Yeah, pedicured.
Bro,
foot.
I'm taking you for a pedicure.
I'd love for you to take me for a pedicure. We could watch the fucking Osprey Danielson match.
We're going to
getting
do
our
a
pedicures.
whole fucking Patreon bonus video. We're going to, a day out, Matt and Tony, we'll get our feet done, then we'll get some lunch, then we'll watch Osprey Danielson.
That sounds like a fucking match made in heaven.
It'd be a great vlog.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Are people still vlogging?
Think so.
All right, well, this is where we say goodbye to Tony.
Yeah, I'm getting the fuck out of here. You boys have fun for the next 10 minutes.
We'll see you in 2 weeks, buddy, since you won't be with us next week.
Yeah, it's like on the off chance that I do get home and the show's still going, I will let you know. But yeah, business calls. I will be out of pocket for a little while Monday, so probably into the evening. So
all right, well, good luck with that. Safe travels. Don't
I mean, I'm literally only going down the road.
Don't fall into any punani.
Me wanda punani. Bye, boys.
Goodbye, Dr. Dunk.
Later. Wait, am I hitting the right button? I want to leave the studio.
Yes, please do not end the feed.
Okay, bye.
See ya. All right. Do we want to stick in the world of AEW? Anything? HK, Jesus Christ. KJG, you said you love Dynamite.
I loved it for that angle.
The ending of the show.
Yes.
I will. This is the hill I will die on. Just close Ring of Honor. Just fucking get rid of it. Why is the fucking TV champion always fucking losing? And I don't give a fuck if it's the world champion, it's Will Ospreay, it's fucking Shibata. I don't give a flying fuck. This drives me fucking nuts. Swerve is your brand new champion too, and it goes back to your guys' point about Ospreay and Kyle Fletcher. He shouldn't be getting this much fucking. Don't put him in these situations. I don't understand the booking. Explain it to me like I'm a fucking 5-year-old.
It's tough to do, Matt, because I don't even think a 5-year-old would be able to. I mean, a 5-year-old wouldn't be able to get it, but I don't even think a 55-year-old would be able to get it.
Like
Kyle Fletcher is such like to me, he's almost. If Will Ospreay was like old enough to have a son, it'd be Kyle Fletcher. Like, to me, they're that similar and that unique together, where like their look is so. Kyle Fletcher's wasted to me right now, absolutely wasted.
Like, why should I tune in to Ring of Honor if your TV champion loses at Wednesday night, Friday night, Saturday night? So you're telling me AEW is the superior product with the superior talent because the Ring of Honor champions are always losing. And don't forget, the Ring of Honor pure champion is nowhere to be fucking found for the past like 90 days.
I don't even know who it is. Who is it?
It's
Shibata?
fucking Wheeler Yuta. It just fucking aggravates me. You have this fucking casino. Yes.
Okay.
Take the fucking belt off of him. You have this casino gauntlet match with fucking 100 guys. You couldn't find one dude to go in there with Swerve to have his first defense be against fucking Jay Lethal or Lance Archer?
Swerve shouldn't even had a match on Wednesday to me. Like, It should have been like the Swerve celebration. Like he should have come out and cut a promo, and like why have a match the few days after you win? Dynasty was
Dynasty
was last Sunday, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no reason for him to even have a match at all. At all. Like he should have just come out and cut a great promo to get himself over. And I'm pretty sure I might be stealing this from Bischoff because I think I listened to his podcast. I think that's what he said too. It's just like there's no reason for him to have a match, and there's no reason for Kyle Fletcher. Matt, I wonder if you know how we say like you have your people that watch AEW, you have your people that watch WWE, and then you have some that might watch both. I wonder if AEW thinks like, all right, you have your people that watch Ring of Honor, and you have your people that watch AEW. They're the same, but they're not. So maybe some people don't watch Ring of Honor, so they don't know. So maybe they're like.
But look, man, this isn't like he's acquired the company like what 2-3 years ago now. Like we're beyond that. It's just Big G. You don't. Big G says, "I wish there was a channel. I wish Ring of Honor was on a channel I could watch." You don't though. It's fucking garbage. It's shit bird squash matches. Yeah. The show's fucking forever long. There's maybe 2 stories they're trying to tell.
Have they done anything with Black Perus since he's been there? Other than like actually just like wrestling.
He's wrestling. He's in some 5-man, 4-man. He beat Blake Christian and AR Fox. The Beast Mortos is his name.
Yeah, the Beast
now.
Mortos. Yeah.
Yeah, he's wrestling fucking 3-way dances. It's so frustrating.
We say like HK says this line a lot, and a lot of other people do as well. Like it's Tony Khan playing with his action figures. Dude's got the biggest action figure collection I've ever seen in my life. Like there's so many figures just like running around like Saturn in a dress. Like there's so many.
Like you can't like cut people. I like that whole week still like really just sticks in my fucking craw. Like you can't cut people. Say you paid like a wrestler salary to use Leonard Skinner, and then like you're flying all these people to fucking TV to tape this shit. Why you just ring 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12 matches? It's so fucking painful to sit through. No disrespect to Johnny TV. I don't want to see Johnny TV wrestle Will Austin. I wouldn't know Will Austin if he walked in my fucking room right now. I'm sure he's some local guy from wherever they were taping. But, like, that's not a match I want on Ring of Honor TV. I don't want the Undisputed Kingdom against the Outrunners. You ruined the fucking Outrunners. You could have done something with them. I don't give a shit about Laney Luck, GPA, John Cruz, and Ren Jones. Stop with this fucking garbage.
So let me ask you this, Matt, real quick. Was, for someone who watched Ring of Honor as long as you have, was Ring of Honor TV, did they do squash matches? Quote unquote, air quote, squash matches?
No, Ring of Honor TV was 2 to 3 matches per week. Every show was an hour. During the pandemic, it was the best wrestling TV show.
I'm talking about like pre Tony Khan Ring of Honor.
No.
Okay.
No, maybe you would get one, but it was 2 to 3 episodes, 2 to 3 matches, and promos, stories. They were telling stories.
I wonder what his thinking is in like still doing Ring of Honor this way. Like, I just don't get it.
I don't know. Look, man, like if you've never sat down and watch Ring of Honor, watch the new Ring of Honor. It's hard to watch. Some people are like, "Oh, it's great. It's another company for people to work with." Sure, but like it's not good.
Yeah, it's not good. Not great. It's great for them.
Is it? Is it great for them when you go out after Collision and half the people fucking leave?
It's great for them in the sense that they're working.
But like Ethan Page should be wrestling in front of a fucking arena full of people, not half the people that left after Collision, because nobody cares about an Ethan Page John Cruz match. That means nothing. There's nothing. Ring of Honor TV doesn't have to be fucking 2 hours long. I'll die
See,
on
I
this
think-
hill.
I know. I think you're missing the point that I'm making. I'm saying it's great for them because they have a steady income and a job, and they can wrestle on whatever platform that they think they're wrestling on. It's not great for the consumer, is what I'm saying.
Is it great for them though? You're a wrestler, you're signed to this contract, and then you're like full house tonight, and you go out for the semi-main event, and there's fucking a fourth of the crowd is there.
I mean, I think some wrestlers care about that, but I don't think the majority do. Maybe the younger ones do. Maybe the older ones don't. I think Ethan Page has been around long enough where he don't really care. I mean, he might care a decent amount about how he's being used, but yeah, I don't think the Outrunners care. I don't think John Morrison cares. Like, you know what I mean? Like, John Morrison's been around the block a million times. You don't care.
Sure, but you got to know that you're like, this is garbage. You have to know.
I'm sure they all do.
Like, we know when we have a bad show. Like, the minute we're done, we're like, this didn't hit. We missed this. Like, we fucked up. Like, they have to know. And at what point do you, like, not want to go to fucking work?
I mean, it's sensationalized because it's wrestling, but like, how many people in the entire world don't want to go to work? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just their job. It's what they chose to do. And just like I may not want to go to work one day, I still do it, and I still do what I'm told, and I get that paycheck. So,
Yeah, but it's wrestling. It's supposed to be fun.
For us.
For them, too.
I mean, if you like, come on, like, how many people actually enjoy going to work? It's a very.
But it's not a normal job.
But you have to. But it's their normal job. It's their
for
job.
them, yes. But their normal isn't normal. That's not a normal job. I get in my car, I drive 20 minutes to work, and then I'm at work. You get in your car and you drive 5 minutes to work, you're at work, and you drive to work, and you're there. I don't have to get up at fucking 5 o'clock to catch a flight, to get through my pre-screen, to make sure that I get my fucking shampoo bottles big enough. Like, the ladies, the girls, like in the WWE, got to fucking doll themselves up. Like, there's no special fucking jet. They're flying next to some fucking guy like me who doesn't put deodorant on, you shitbirds. Like, that's not normal. Right to what? Work for fucking 10 minutes?
And then how much does that check they get when they...
I don't know. If you listen to what Slim J said after he got let go, he wasn't making ends meet.
Oh, well, yeah. Well, Slim J... Well, all right, yeah.
But he's the Ring of Honor guy. That's the Ring of Honor fucking roster, right? Outside of Johnny TV.
Well, then he shouldn't be crying about getting released then, should he?
He can.
Of course he can.
What?
But you're talking out of both ends of your mouth here. Like, either you love what you do and you want to go to work and make the shitty money, or when you get released, we don't know that Slim J hated it or didn't like it anyway. We're not saying Slim J was the guy that complained about sitting next to Matt on the plane. Like,
no, but my argument is it's not a normal job. Like, to them it's normal, but to us it's not. That's not normal. There's nothing normal about that.
Yeah, we're the ones that don't have to worry about that then. They are. And if they want to do it, they will do it and make whatever peanuts that they're making. And then when they get let go, or as you're saying, like, why would you want to do that? They obviously do want to do that. Like, they want to do that and make the money that they're making because they love it, right? So
are they doing it because they love it, or are they doing it for a paycheck?
It's both. I mean, I think it's more of the paycheck than it is the love for certain people. For others, it's probably the love of it and trying to further themselves.
Right.
But
so if you love it, if you love what you do, wouldn't you want more people to see your trade?
I'm not saying it's ideal, but I'm not saying that these guys should be like agonizing about it.
I think that I understand what you're saying, KJG. I think. At the same time, like, I think that no matter like what profession it is or anything like that, there's going to be people that love going to work, and there's people that's good, aren't going to love going to work. And I think that, so, it's your job. You you're going to get tired of it sooner or later. Like, yeah, everybody's going to get tired of it sooner or later. But I think, like, I've been in enough locker rooms now with enough veterans where I talk to guys that, just got back went from Australia to Sacramento, from Sacramento to Seattle, from Seattle to Minnesota. Sleep schedule still all fucked up. Love being there. Love doing it. You know what I mean? Like, and I think that no matter what the job is, there's going to be different people that, you're going to love what you do. You're not going to love what you're going to do. You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of where I see where you're coming from. Now, like to Double T's point with it being an audience, right? And all of a sudden there's a quarter of the fans that were there in a building that was a quarter full to begin with. When you finally get to go out in front of the crowd, yes, that sucks for talent. And it doesn't matter, regardless of how long they've been around the block, going out in front of a crowd that has left, that is a quarter of what it was when it was a quarter of the arena to begin with. That sucks, man. That is not a fun atmosphere for you to apply your craft, your art, like Double T is saying. You know what I mean? Like, and there's going to be guys that are going to love going out there and putting on a match regardless. But yes, it does hit the locker room when it is a shrunken crowd from an already shrunken crowd.
But a lot of these people on the Ring of Honor roster are doing this on the weekends for other companies anyway. They're performing in front of less people.
Mm-hmm.
So like I'm just saying that they know better than we do. Maybe not you, because you've been around in these locker rooms for a while now, HK. So like I feel like they know what they're getting into. They're smarter than us in terms of like what they're going on, but they know what they're performing in front of. They get it. They know it. So because they do it on the weekends every weekend and perform in front of like 50 people, 60 people in a room that can maybe fit 300. So it's like I feel sympathy for them because I feel sympathy for them only because the company that they're working for should do better by them. Like Ring of Honor should be a bigger deal than it is, but I don't feel bad for them because they're performing in front of who they're performing in front of. Like they get it, they know it, they've lived it, they live it currently. Like
right, and I don't think that like not feeling bad for any of the performers because ultimately it's an opportunity. Like no matter where you are in wrestling, no matter what company you're working for, from the smallest indie promotion all the way up to WWE, no matter where you are, it's an opportunity, and you gotta you have to make the most out of it. But it does take a hit, man, when you go out there and it's a shrunken down crowd from what it was. And when you go to in a comparison, when you go to do a show at a convention center that fits 2,500 people, and there's 2,500 people there screaming, the atmosphere is fantastic. Now, when you go to an arena that is a 10,000 seat arena that sold 4,000 tickets, and now 2,200 of those people have left before you get to go out. Like, yeah, man, that's not nearly as up.
But the constant is they don't get paid on the house, as far as I know,
No,
in terms of
of
TV.
course not.
So like to compare it with like comedy, like a lot of times I would get paid based on the house. And just like independents, you get paid on the house. Like your check, unless you're a made guy, your check comes out, your paycheck comes out the other night on the house. There's doesn't. So my whole point of that is just saying they sign the deals, their per appearance deal, their per date deal, their yearly, annual, downside, whatever. They know that. So at the end of the day, to me, I don't think it bothers them as much as it would bother a guy that gets paid on the house. Like if that, like, I'm not saying it doesn't bother them. It should bother them.
Right.
But
And to a certain point, I can tell you with the locker rooms I've been there are guys that go, yeah, we're not going to do that for this crowd because the house is down. You know what I mean? Like that's a thing that absolutely happens, and it's a shame. Like it's an absolute shame because when you talk about like what the plans could have been or would have been had the house been up, you're like, man, that would have been awesome. I gotta believe that those same things, might be happening in ROH. Maybe not. I don't. I don't know.
To think that people are phoning it in, though, working for that.
You'd hate to think. You'd hate to think. But
sure they do.
It happens.
It's super like, and then like, look, I've never been to a Collision taping, so I don't know. Like, did they announce what's when you go into the building? They announce what they're taping for ROH, or you just there? Like,
I think you're just there.
No.
It's so frustrating, like the whole like, and then but then you're like, it's because you look at like Dynamite was a decent show this week. Collision I thought was awesome. I thought the Swerve Claudio match was great, right? But then you gotta, all right, Collision's over. Time for Ring of Honor, and you're gonna send fucking Isaiah Cassidy and Commander out there. Like, how do you follow that? It's not fair to these guys. Like, stop fucking taping so much shit.
I wonder how long. Matt, you've never seen a ROH taping?
No, I've been to. Have I?
When it was actually like for the TV, not like a pay-per-view.
Oh, like before Tony Khan bought.
Like what you're talking about. Like you said, you've never been to a Collision taping, but has there ever been a time where Ring of Honor maybe taped after Dynamite or after?
I'm trying to think. What was the last AEW show? That was Grand Slam, or did we do the Suite after that?
I'm just thinking, like, I can't imagine like in person these tapings go 2 hours. They probably go an hour.
So I was there for a bunch of dark tapings when they were doing that, when it was dark, and what was the other one?
Elevation.
Those are pretty painful to sit through. But they would do those, they would do like 3 matches before. But you knew what it was, right? It was AEW. I don't think I've been at any AEW shows where they tape Ring of Honor.
So I'll never understand for the life of me why they don't tape these shows like Rampage or Ring of Honor before.
Yep. That's
like,
exactly what I was going to say.
For the life of me, I'll never understand. Maybe Wednesday, maybe you can't get away with it. Maybe you could do like Rampage at 7 and then do Dynamite, but
you 100% could.
Yeah. Which has been the formula forever. This is why we watch like Sunday Night Heat, Velocity, all those other shows for WWE were always done before.
Yep.
I think the only time maybe you didn't do it was when WCW was taping Thunder and Nitro at the same time, and I still think they did Thunder after, but Thunder was still a marquee show at that time, despite how awful it was.
How do you guys feel about them bringing in the grizzled young vets?
Are they signed, or was that just a Collision deal?
That's a great question.
I don't think that they've signed. I think that they said that it's not they don't plan on it being the last of them in AEW, but I don't believe that they signed.
Yeah, well, they're definitely they've done good stuff in TNA for sure. So
I'm pretty indifferent to it.
I'm with you.
Yeah,
I think they're good wrestlers, but I don't understand the obsession with them and the underground swell for them, even when they were in NXT.
Right. Yeah, and I think that they're a fine tag team and everything. I just, like I say, it's at this point it's so hard for me to get excited about almost anything that they're doing. You know what I mean? Like it's tough. It's tough for me to get excited about AEW right now. And I'm not going to stop watching it. I'm going to continue to watch it. I'm going to continue to try and support, but it's fucking rough, man.
What now, HK? What about it do you find rough?
Oh boy. So, from like a wrestling standpoint, like just the in-ring product, that I'm more of a, I don't want to say old school wrestling like mentality, but I do think that like slow down, let things sink in, those type of things. A lot of it just drives me absolutely nuts. I will say, I think that they're coming along on their stories. They're not all completely there yet, but they are coming along. And I've kind of been enjoying what they're doing with Best Friends. Like, I think they're doing fine work there. There are so many things like, I can't stand Sasha Mercedes Moné. Like, she shows up and it just sucks. You know what I mean? Like, I can't fucking get into it. I can't stand the Young Bucks. I I can't fucking stand them. And they're boom right in front of you. One of the main problems I've had with AEW for a while now, and I think that's hard. One of the reasons why it's hard for me to get invested in any of the performers, like from an emotional standpoint, is they did so much stop-start with guys for so long that it's hard for me when somebody shows up and I'm like, oh, I could get behind this guy. Like in my mind, I'm like, okay, I could get behind him, and they might feature him for 3 weeks, and then he's going to be on ROH, and I'll never fucking see him. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of that. Like you let things grow, right? And it doesn't feel like they do that. So it's hard for me to get attached to anything because you don't know when it's going to be and gone. And how do I justify putting like an emotional investment to something that I think might not be there anymore? You know what I mean? Like I like watching Ospreay. Right. I enjoy a lot of what I see of him. And when I see him, he's one of the few guys like I want to see more. And I don't think that that's going to be a stop. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think that's going to be something that stops. But at the same time, it's just hard for me to get invested in this stuff, man. It really is. Like Jericho, man, how many different factions and different fucking things is he going to trot out there? Right. How many, like, now he's the Lionheart. Now he's he was the Vortex. And now he's the fucking Learning Tree. Like, let things fucking sink for a while, man. Build it up. Like we had the Jericho Appreciation site before they had the fucking jerk off circle. Like, could we just fucking stick with something for a little bit so I can fucking love it? Like, let me love something, and they don't fucking let me love something.
No, look, yeah. I get it. I get the frustration because when you flip over to, like, look, I know the draft is going on, but like, who's going to be on SmackDown and Raw every week, and who they're going to feature. When you watch NXT, who's there, and then like, there's a hodgepodge of people over in AEW, and like your champions are there, obviously Swerve and Ospreay, and they're gonna, they're Mariah May and the Tony Storm and the Mina Shirakawa story is there, and Deonna Purrazzo who turned heel, like, but like,
what happened with it? Is Tony Storm now a babyface all of a sudden? Like, did they because she came out and made a save for Mariah May?
Yeah.
Like, she's like, heels don't make saves. I don't care if it's even your I don't know, man. Like,
I guess we're just gonna have to keep watching. I don't know. There's some things that, I mean, maybe
go to TNA, man. TNA, like, you want to see good storytelling outside WWE? Watch TNA, man. Like, that is like good long term. Just like everything makes sense. This team is like, it's just AEW is 100% the instant gratification audience. It's watch this match and then next week, no follow up. It's just it bothers me, but not to the point where like I'm super upset about it. Like, whatever, it's good wrestling. It was good TV. It was
well,
right, but
even with the what was it? Because they had their Casino Gauntlet fucking match,
yeah,
and
which
like,
I enjoyed.
It was a bit of a car wreck, for me at least, watching it. And one of the things that even watching like on commentary, and I know Shivani's done this for years, but like during the match, he goes, "What an amazing match! What an outstanding concept! And I'm like, fuck, man."
Yeah, but is that somebody feeding him those lines?
I'm sure it is. But like, it's not that amazing. It's a fucking gauntlet match. You threw Casino in front of it.
It's his job. He's probably getting lines from the same guy who's saying that the WWE's Harvey Weinstein. So put that into perspective.
To counter that, I would almost think that it was Tony Schiavone doing it on his own because he knows he has to, because it's such a ridiculous concept. Like, I would give Tony Schiavone the benefit of the doubt that he knows that he has to say those things.
It's a possibility. And look, man, like your stop and start thing, like Matthew Birch is right. He says HK is right on the money with that. AEW does stop and start booking with the wrestlers way too much, and it kills any momentum that anyone could build up. It's frustrating product to invest in. They also, because they do 100 miles an hour, like, we just lost Powerhouse Hobbs. Like, he's hurt now. Darby Allin got hit by a fucking bus. Legit got hit by. How the fuck does that happen? Dude's got a broken foot and he got hit by the bus in the city. How does that even happen?
Still made his signing at Pandora's Box, though.
Yeah, but how do you get hit by a fucking bus, bro? Fucking Hobbs gets hurt, so that's he's not a main player, but he could be, and that's another guy that's gonna be off TV. Ricky Starks is hurt again; he's off TV now. Big Bill's with fucking Jericho. That's gonna be.
I didn't hate that, by the way.
It's just like to HK's point. Like, is this Jericho's just? Is he gonna put another faction together, and is it gonna be the same thing as the Inner Circle and the same thing as the JSA? Like that was when I was during the pandemic, and then when I was doing the Mark Order, like the Jericho stories, they're good, but man, they just when you think there's no more milk in that udder, they're fucking squeeze that shit until something comes out. It's a lot. So, look, Dynamite I thought was good, and Collision might be my favorite show. Like just the vibe Collision brings to TV, and I very rarely get to watch it live, so I always watch it like a day or two after. But it still holds up. They're fucking, Ray Phoenix is back, Roosh is back. I don't know what that means, right? But it was I like Roosh, so and look, Swerve Claudio was fucking great. It was great, and then we flipped the channel to WWE, and Becky won. She's the champion again now. She won the Battle Royale.
That's right.
Which I know that upset a lot of people.
Which is so silly.
Well, I think.
I said I didn't even think when we talked about it. Like I was like, oh, it's got to be Nia Jax or Liv Morgan, right? It's got to be. Right. I totally forgot about Becky Lynch. And,
yeah, look, a lot of people wanted Liv. Right, and I get it, but let's look. They've been, we've mentioned it countless times throughout the show and the last couple months. Like WWE's firing on all cylinders. Like they're gonna do something here.
Yeah,
Liv Morgan winning a battle royal versus Liv beating Becky. Like which one matters more? Yeah. Like Liv beating Becky will have a bigger impact than this fucking, battle royal they had to have on Raw because of the unfortunate injury to Rhea.
Right. And now with Nia Jax on SmackDown, it's definitely Liv and Becky's game right now.
I was really hoping that they would they'd go completely, sharp turn and go Stratton. I was really hoping that's where they would go.
Was she in that? Really? She wasn't in that.
I don't remember off the top of my head, but that was
she was on the old.
She was not. It was Becky, Candice, Chelsea Green, Indy, Ivy, Katana, Kaden, Liv, Maxine, Natty, Nia, Piper, Shayna, Zoe.
Maxine didn't look bad in that either.
But to your point though, HK, to your point, Tiffany Stratton had a major moment on SmackDown interrupting the women's title match between Naomi and Bailey and causing that match to end in a schmaz. So her name is definitely still out there, and I wouldn't be shocked if she's the one that takes that belt off Bailey sooner rather than later.
Yeah.
So
and like Double T was saying, like Becky Liv in this situation running a program, like it's going to be way more rewarding for Liv if she does defeat Becky Lynch for the title.
And if she does that, imagine like the resume Liv Morgan's going to end up having. Beating Ronda Rousey. Or did she beat Rhea Ripley? No, she beat Ronda Rousey.
She beat Ronda.
Yeah.
And then she'll beat Becky. Like that's for someone that like doesn't fit the mold of it. Like she's not Charlotte. She's not Bianca Belair. She's not Jade. She's not, Sasha Banks. She's not Becky Lynch. She doesn't fit that mold of top WWE women's wrestlers. And the fact that she could possibly have those two wins under her belt, she's going to have to be talked about more seriously.
Yeah, I think Liv's a stud. I think she's a stud.
And we had some last week on Raw. We had some Imperium seems to be exploding.
They did that so well. Because I don't think that it is exploding. I really don't. Like they clearly Vinci is out, but even with Kaiser coming back and railroading Vinci as many times as he did, Kaiser walking to the back and Gunther standing there and Gorilla walking, like they did that whole thing so well because it's not an implosion of Imperium, right?
Well,
There's
I
still
don't know what
strains keeping it together, and there's still still room for one more.
I think that unless I don't know what the draft pool situation is, I think Kaiser's up tonight with Gunther. I wouldn't be shocked if Kaiser gets drafted away unless they're packaged together as a package deal. I wouldn't be shocked if they actually move him away from Gunther either and have him start his ascent. But if the rumors that Dragunov is now coming up, that what's he gonna do? Is he gonna join Imperium? Is he gonna have his own little run ski? I don't know, but I would not be shocked if Kaiser is drafted away unless they are a package deal.
Well, let's go. You mentioned the draft, KJG. Let's look at this, and then we can circle back to anything else we want to talk about with the WWE.
Are you gonna reveal the results?
I'm going to give you the SmackDown.
Oh, the SmackDown. Okay, yeah.
So the SmackDown post the draft took place Friday night. SmackDown was up first, and they took Bianca Belair. Raw countered with Jey Uso. SmackDown took Carmelo Hayes. Raw took Seth Rollins. SmackDown's got Orton. Raw took Braun Breaker. SmackDown's got Nia. Raw has Liv. SmackDown kept LA Knight. Raw keeps Ricochet. SmackDown takes the Bloodline, which is only Solo, Tama Tonga, and Paul Heyman.
Yeah, that was stupid, by the way. Roman Reigns withdrawing from eligibility. Why wouldn't everyone just do that if they weren't fucking happy with where they're like fucking dumb? That pissed me. SmackDown bothered me like a lot.
Raw took Sheamus in the fourth round. SmackDown took AJ Styles. Raw took the Alpha Academy, which I love what they did with them Monday night too, with Chad Gable fucking running everybody down. I thought that was great. SmackDown took Andrade. Raw took Kiana James. And then on social media, they announced that SmackDown took Corbin, the OC, which includes Mia Yim, Cedric Alexander, and Ashante the Adonis. And Raw took Alba Fry, Isla Dawn, Ivar, Shayna Baszler, and Zoe Stark. And I guess Cody is on SmackDown?
Yeah, the champions are exempt from the draft.
Okay.
For the first time this year.
So right now, the SmackDown has Cody, Bayley, Logan Paul, Waller, and Theory, Bianca, Carmelo Hayes, Orton, Nia, LA Knight, The Bloodline, AJ, Andrade, Baron Corbin, OC, Alexander, and Ashante. Raw, as of Friday night, is Priest, Becky, Sammy, Miz and R-Truth, Jay, Seth, Braun, Liv, Ricochet, Sheamus, Alpha Academy, Kiana James, Alba Fry, and Isla Dawn, Ivar, Shayna Baszler, Zoe Starks. The rosters officially lock on Monday, May 6th, 2 days after Backlash, which is this weekend.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
This is what pissed me off about the whole draft thing. And I'm usually a sucker for the draft. I love it. I can let myself get away from the nitpicking reality-based stuff that makes no sense, especially when they picked 4 picks at a time. So, like, unless the picks are actually submitted, which they never explained beforehand, what's to say, like Teddy Long says, I picked on SmackDown selects so-and-so. And then, like JBL was just like, holy shit, that's who Adam Pearce wanted. Like, they don't explain that at all. And the other thing that baffles logic to me is holding on to your own guys before attempting to draft somebody from another brand. Like, why? I get you want to keep your brand strong, but there's no guarantee that this guy's going to take one of your guys anyway. Like, there's another brand involved. Like, pick somebody from another brand before you keep one of your own. Because obviously you're picking that person because you think they can improve your product. They think that they're like the fact that Bianca Belair, with all due respect, went before Seth Rollins is bonkers to me. Seth Rollins was just the longest reigning world champion ever, and he went 4th. Carmelo Hayes, for Christ's sake, went over Seth Rollins. It makes no sense to me, and I couldn't let myself suspend my disbelief for this.
Seth Rollins is hurt, though. He won't be on TV for 6 to 9 months.
We don't know that. Do we know that?
We know that.
Yes.
We know that. We know that. Did they ever say something about that on TV? Did he ever do like a speech gimmick where he said he was going to be off TV?
I mean, Becky said it.
On TV?
TV?
On TV?
I think she might have said in an interview.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
but
like,
regardless of how we find out, we still know he's not going to be around.
that's unsafe to assume that. Because if they don't tell us, how else are we like? They're the ones that should be able to tell us that. Maybe someone in the chat knows different. Maybe they did say it. Maybe he did announce that maybe he did say something like I have to go away for a while. But I don't think he's been on Raw since after Mania. Has he been on TV since after Mania?
Negative. Negator.
So
Negator.
it just bothers me that like the little lapses in the detail. I would love them to go back to the draft lottery where it's totally random, so you don't have a choice in the matter. Whereas, like,
yeah, but then you get like let's be real here. Like this is all done because they have. Let's assume Triple H has already booked out till next year's WrestleMania. Like this is just another. You can't do like.
This is Kevin the fan talking, not Kevin like the
Right. No, but like
Yeah.
hindsight, like you look back at like the lottery where like the Dudleys didn't know they were getting split up. Like that's fucked, man. Like that's real fucking stupid. And then like,
But it made for
shitty
great
writing.
TV.
Yeah.
That moment, yes, but that post, it's like.
Oh no, that was stupid. Yeah, it was bad.
Now I'm not gonna because I know you're probably gonna go back and watch, right, Kevin? So you don't like spoilers.
I do not like spoilers. I'm not a big spoiler guy. I'll watch Raw tomorrow.
But the LWO was drafted to a brand, but Carlito wasn't involved, and I
Well,
thought he
Carlito
turned
turned
on
on
them.
them.
Yeah, so why is he still part of the LWO?
Maybe because they didn't finish the story part of that yet. So maybe technically he's still or because the draft was announced before that happened. So he's still technically under, protocol. He's still part of the LWO.
I don't like it.
No, I'm with you. It's silly, but
he's a
I'm trying to-
dirtbag. Why would you want to go with the people you just turned your back on?
Why did he just withdraw from eligibility?
That's a fair point. We saw the video on the social medias the other night. I guess Drew McIntyre is re-signed with the WWF, and that news kind of broke when he was at the dinner and The Rock posted the video of him. He had a sword presented to Drew McIntyre, in which he said, "I'd keep my word if you'd signed a new deal." So that's kind of how that broke. When I think it's the smartest thing. Like Drew McIntyre has been one of the super highlights of 2024 for the WWE.
Yeah. He's been kind of a stud since he came back. Like I know all of the angles that he's run haven't all been like fantastic, but since he's come back, he's been an absolute stud. Even going back to when he was in like NXT, obviously he's doing likely his best work now, but like I don't really think he's missed since he's been back. He's been fantastic.
He really has. And then on the flip side of that, they did more releases on Tuesday, and one of those people was Cameron Grimes, who put out a very heartfelt video, and then was interviewed on Busted Open, where he said, he had a conversation with somebody, and he was told 5 days before he was released that he would not need to worry. I think the plus side to this is Trevor Lee, like they had something with him. Like the Cameron Grimes character was like fucking over, and then they somehow fucking fumbled it on the indies, or if he ends up back in TNA, like dude's gonna be okay. But it still like sucks to have your fucking dream job taken away from you.
Yeah, and Matt Hardy talked about it on his podcast. It's like the first time you got released is always like it hit, like he said, his words, it hits different. Like because you feel like you're getting your dream ripped away from you. Like your dream job is like now gone. And at that moment, you don't think there's any possible way that you'll ever find your way back. But we've seen time and time again in wrestling that's not always the case. So if he wants to be in WWE, there's no doubt in my mind that he'll be back there.
Yeah, and look, we just look at McIntyre, right?
Yep.
And look, and there is, I know he's hurt, but Cardona, like Steph DeLander, like make the best of it. Go out there and make your fucking money and create a new identity. Give them a reason to have to hire you back.
Yeah. And
if that's where you want to be.
I'm not 100% because I know like Rockstar Spud set the trend for like posting those like really sad, like I'm heartbroken videos, and then he got hired back like the next week. I don't know if that was Cameron Grimes' end game here. Uh, I don't think it was, but it's just weird. But that notwithstanding, I think he will end up. He'll be fine. Like if he's not in AEW, he'll be in TNA. If he's not in TNA, he'll be back in WWE. He'll be in GCW. He'll be somewhere. Fine. He'll make a lot of money.
Yeah, no, look, you got to land on your feet. You know, it's not. It also is like, and this might be the Vince era. Like he's just another guy. Like he was, his gimmick in NXT was fantastic, and then they bring him up to the main roster, and they don't know what to fucking do with him.
You know, he reminds me of, who's actually coincidentally back as a producer and wrestler. He reminds me of Sean Spears. Like the Ty Dillinger character was amazing in NXT. It was fine. And then you bring him up to WWE to the main roster. And other than like coming in number 10 at the Royal Rumble, like, how are you going to like, who's mad at this guy? Like, what did this guy ever do to anybody to get like to spark a feud with him? Cameron Grimes was kind of that way. He was great in NXT, the whole Ted DiBiase, LA Knight, $1 million belt thing. Awesome. Comes up. I'm like, all right, why do I hate him? I don't know. He seems like a nice guy. Seems like a good dude. Like, why do I hate him? Same thing with Ty Dillinger.
Yeah, I always wondered what the effect would be for him to come out of NXT onto the main roster, no matter where he went. I didn't know if that character was going to translate. And you do see that characters that really, really hit in front of the NXT audience, and they hit main roster, and it doesn't hit, widespread. He was one that I did wonder if it was going to fall flat. I thought that Dillinger was going to be a stud when he came up. I mean, I thought it was the same thing with the Ascension. I thought the Ascension was going to have a ton of legs as a tag team when they came up. They didn't last long. You know what I mean? So it's the transition from NXT to main roster. It's always interesting to see who does hit.
Yeah. The Ascension had that they got freaking screwed, man. Like they should have been presented what they were in NXT. Like they were presented as like the main roster saw them and thought they were Road Warriors fucking like at home. Oh, we have the Road Warriors at home. Right. Like that's the Ascension. Like
yeah, so it's interesting to see. Hopefully that is changing now with Triple H and HBK, because like Johnny Gargando's been on the main roster forever, and he seems like he's always fucking drowning up there, and even like DIY, it's just not. It just hits completely differently on the main roster.
Mm-hmm.
So it's something to keep an eye on. But we have the draft is going on right now. If you're watching us live, we are not talking about the draft. And then this weekend is Backlash from, where are they in? France. And right now, and I'm sure we'll have more matches after SmackDown. It's somewhere in the notes here. We have 1 o'clock on Saturday afternoon. Cody Rhodes, AJ Styles.
Yeah, baby.
Damian Priest, Jey Uso. Asuka and Kairi Sane against Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill. Bayley, Naomi, Tiffany Stratton, three-way dance. And Solo Sikoa and Tama Tonga against Owens and Orton.
God, it's going to be fun.
Yeah, that's a pretty fucking stacked show right there.
Yeah.
Those people in France are going to have a good time.
Yeah, I'm excited to see Damian and Jay. Like, I just want to see what they do together within the confines of the match. I like Damian. I think he does a hell of a job, and I think that like Cody AJ could be very interesting. Like AJ's kind of modified the way he's worked a little bit over the course of the last couple of years, so that could be super intriguing. And I love Solo and Tonga. Like I really want to see where this goes.
It's gonna be awesome, and the fact that AJ Styles and Cody Rhodes never have wrestled one-on-one as far as their storytelling goes, they're probably right. They've been saying that boggles my mind, between that they were never in the same place, whether it be TNA /Global or Ring of Honor or New Japan. or well, if they were New Japan at the same time, they were probably on the same team. But I don't think that they were. But like, God, like that's just if like we talk about AEW, like putting on great wrestling matches for the sake of the hard. That's a hardcore wrestling fan's wet dream. Cody Rhodes versus AJ Styles. Like that's like I'm here for that. And while AJ Styles may have just like lost at WrestleMania, and it almost seems like if you're not Roman Reigns, if you're not The Rock, if you're not Cody, if you're not Cena, if you're not McIntyre, or if you're not Seth Rollins, everyone else kind of seems a little bit less than. But man, that is not the case right now. Like they are working so hard to get as many people over in WWE as they possibly can, and I just can't wait to see AJ Styles versus Cody Rhodes, man. Like that's the quote Cameron Grimes to the moon.
You think it'd be a good spot for Jacob Fatu to show up
for the bloodline match, the tag match?
Yeah,
100%.
Well, I hope so.
I was trying to see because I think it's a brilliant move for them to do the first PLE after WrestleMania in another country. Because that fan base is gonna be fucking going crazy, and I was trying to see if I could find the last time the WWE was in France.
I don't think they've never done a PLE there. That's for sure.
But like a house show or something. The searching wasn't working out so great. But like, like this in like Boston, like Cody, AJ, Priest, Uso, like it'll be good. But like I think over there, the crowd is really gonna
100%.
eat this shit up, and I think the atmosphere is definitely gonna make it a lot more enjoyable.
And I think they know that, and that's why you can get away with having like, lack of a better term, less than main events. Like your world champion isn't necessarily over as a world champion yet. Jey Uso has been fantastic. He gets one of the best reactions on every show that he's on. But like I said before, they're not Roman, they're not Cody, they're not McIntyre, they're not Cena. So, but you could get away with that there because first of all, the match is going to be good, and second of all, the crowd's going to eat whatever you give them up.
April of 2023, they did a house show there.
Okay.
Yep.
So it's been about a year.
Yep.
Yeah. They also on Raw last week, 3 people have declared for the King of the Ring tournament.
Whoa!
Right. Sheamus,
Uh,
Sheamus, Drew, and
no, it was Drew
Russo?
Gunther.
Oh, Gunther.
Drew Gunther, Xavier Woods.
Because he's a former champ.
Yeah, I guess if that's not my King of the Ring, not my era of King of the Ring. But I don't know. Maybe this will be a thing. So we'll have to keep our eyes on that because that's happening in Saudi at the end of May.
I love that.
Yeah.
Promoting a pay-per-view after a pay-per-view.
Yes. Look, man, like you don't have to fucking tell us stories and do TV right and build, not everybody has to be on the pay-per-view in France. You can spread it out. You have enough talent. So I'm looking forward to this. I'm looking forward to catching up on Raw. Come on. Nope. Down. Oh.
All right.
TNA is firing. They're doing some pretty interesting stuff. What do we got? Jordan Grace is going to defend her title against Miyu Yamashita on TV this week. Number 1 contenders match: Trey Miguel, Ace Austin. The Joe Hendry stuff is fantastic. So they're doing that. Mike, you guys talked about it last week. Santana's back. We have Matt speaks. 5 matches announced for Under Siege this Friday night, which is an Impact TNA Plus, whatever the fuck they're calling it, special. It's Moose, Brian Myers, Eddie Edwards against Matt Hardy, Mike Bailey, and Trent Seven. The Knockout World's tag team champions Jody Threat and Danny Luna defend against Alicia Edwards and Masha Slamovich. Mustafa Ali defends against the number 1 contender, either Ace Austin or Trey Miguel. Hammerstone, Jake Something, and Jordan Grace and PCO take on Steph DeLander and Khan. And I know Eddie Edwards got a win over Nick Nemeth on TV. But don't worry, because AAA in Mexico gave Nick Nemeth another useless title that he could fucking sling around with him. Fucking annoys me. Fucking bullshit.
Why is somebody winning a championship for a wrestling company bother you?
Well, if he's defending the fucking AAA mega title as much as he defends the IWGP fucking global championship, it's not going to mean anything because he hasn't fucking done it yet.
Is that a zombie killer title?
Which one?
The IWGP
Global?
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. You have to defend it first, right?
Okay. And in Mexico, was it like a Day of the Dead title that he won?
In AAA, yes. He beat Alberto Del Patron.
Oh, great. Well, see you later.
Triple Mania 32. Have you ever watched the Triple Mania?
I have.
Which one?
I don't remember. So I think that they have on Pluto. They have a AAA channel, and I used to get Mundos, which carried a lot of the AAA stuff. So I've watched AAA Mania.
All right. Well, that's that. That's that.
Yeah. That's that.
That's that. I think this went a little longer episode, but it's good to be back. There's a lot of wrestling to talk about. Dave Penzer was fantastic.
Yes.
In the show notes, you will be able to find the link to Dave's book if you want to buy it. I will put that in there, so please check it out and support it. It's a great read. It's an easy read. He tells lots of great stories, and the interview was a blast.
There's some different tiers too with that book. If you go to DavePenzerBook.com, there's a bunch of different tiers. Some of them are fantastic with the rewards that you would get, and even including up to an individual Zoom call with Dave Penzer himself. So a lot of cool stuff.
Oh, you think he puts the camera on for that? Fucking shit.
I'm not sure. Maybe. They didn't specify.
Also, fuck you, Scott George. Matt, you would fit in perfectly in France. They don't wear deodorant either. You shitbird. You fucking shipper. Isolate that, Scott George.
You fucking freak.
You freakazoid. You stalker. Oh, God. You guys are fantastic. Yeah, so that'll all be in the links on Spotify and Apple or wherever you listen to the podcast. Please remember to leave a rating, a review. Ooh, Perry Saturn's here. Next week, Ruby Raz will be joining us.
Yes.
So that should be a lot of fun. And I think Kate's back next week for Kate's Corner. It's the first Monday of May next week, right?
Yeah.
And we are on the road to 700, so that'll be exciting. Oh, this is
baby.
This is 687, so we got another 12 episodes.
Weeks.
Yeah. So that'll be fun. We'll have a party for 700. No Tony next week, so that'll be nice. We can actually talk about wrestling like we did tonight. What? He fucking hates wrestling. What do you make that?
He loves wrestling.
You're so full of
No,
shit.
he doesn't.
doesn't
He
even
loves-
watch it.
Fucking loves it.
No, I'm with Matt. He doesn't. He loves what he remembers was wrestling.
He fucking loves wrestling.
No, he doesn't. Tony, what'd you watch this week? You probably watched fucking TNT. Some shitty fucking Tony Gurria interview. I'm a five-time champion. I would like to be another tag champion again. Oh, that would be great if fucking Tony Gurria could team with Tito Santana. Shut up, Tony. Watch some fucking current wrestling, you shitbird.
He loves
That's the
wrestling.
thing. You don't talk shit about him until he's gone, and then you talk it at the end, so he has to listen to all of this.
Oh,
So
gotcha.
what do we got here?
There we go.
Well, Tony, I think you're a swell guy.
What is this? Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
What?
This might be something I have to do, gentlemen. There's apparently midget mayhem wrestling in Bud Lake, New Jersey.
Butt Lake?
Bud Lake. Sunday, June 23rd. Hey, that might actually work for me. It's a Sunday night. Come out for this live midget wrestling event. Come to the Good Times Arcade
Are they even allowed
Tavern.
to say that? That's
Sure. It's 21 and over show, too. I'm in. Sign me up. Sign me the fuck up. Yup, I'm in. Fuck yeah. I'll see if I can reach out to them. Maybe we can get a midget on the show.
A little person.
Midget,
Okay.
right?
I mean, if that's what they're billing it as.
I
Right,
think it
what-
depends.
Isn't like there's a switch in the world now where we're fighting, we're going anti-cancel culture now? Like I feel like that's a thing.
Well, I'm not saying it should have been canceled for it. I just didn't think it was. I just thought that it just wasn't appropriate. Not
Right,
Not
but-
that I didn't think it wasn't appropriate. I'm thinking that
Why,
I think it depends on the person.
I don't know.
No, we're bringing it back. You can say goofy shit now.
Okay, that's
I'm
cool.
saying
All right,
it.
fair enough.
I say it.
All right, no
I
I
problem.
say midget. I don't say fucking little people. Okay. Give a shit. Can't
Copy
say
that, Rose.
midget. Fuck off.
Oh, I don't know. I just wasn't sure.
Remember, people, stay in your lane. Don't worry about other people's shit. Right? Stay in your lane. Give a
Sage
shit.
advice from Double T.
Seriously. You fucking asshole. I got to fucking, you scroll through fucking Twitter and it's like your fucking eyes are bleeding. The people, fucking strangers arguing strangers about shit that has no effect on them.
Handsome
Gives a
Kevin, you got anything to say?
Yeah, Handsome Kevin.
Well, I mean, and on that point to Twitter, man, why is it that you can click on one fucking post, right? And you want to read it, and then you're like, oh, the comments might be interesting on this, and it takes like it's 10 seconds. You can't read like other people's posts without having some biddy
Pussy.
getting in there
Pussy
going,
in
yeah,
bio, right?
yeah, every fucking time, man.
It's the bots.
It's not like, and you know what? Good for you, but there should be like a separate Twitter for that type of stuff, right? I shouldn't be like, oh man, Mr. Rogers wore a different fucking sweater on every show. Scroll down 2 times and hey, I'm not wearing Mr. Rogers. Look at these. Like that, settle down. Just settle down, everybody.
I've unfollowed people who follow us because they like retweet like porn.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't need. I'm fucking scrolling through my phone. I'm sitting in my easy chair,
Right.
and I got the volume on, like, because they're like, oh, this is a promo from so. That's like, ah! Well, I was like, what the fuck is that? I'm like, I don't know. Unfollow. Unfollow. I don't need to see this chick getting fucked. Right, I'm just scrolling Twitter. I'm scrolling
Right.
Twitter for the wrestling podcast I do. If I want to look at porn, I'll do that on my own time. I'm looking for like wrestling stuff.
Right. Yeah.
So I unfollow you. Now I don't follow you. And I miss that you tag us in your follow Fridays every Friday. And I'm not going back to following you.
All right.
I appreciate the support, but, I can't be fucking having porn show up on my timeline.
Right.
When's your next big show, HK?
Oh boy. I have to look at the schedule. We gotta
start getting your scroller out there. We gotta start promoting your shit, man.
Yeah, man. I'll send you the sketch.
You
So I
put
get
an
the-
S in front of hit, man.
When I get the schedule together, I was actually super pumped with the last show. Unfortunately, I was out of town this past weekend. There was I was offered a date that had Scott Norton. Scott Norton was there.
Oh.
So that would have been awesome. He was a guy that I would like to meet, but I haven't been able to yet. But yeah, I know I got some stuff coming up here next month, so I will. I'll keep everybody in the loop.
All right, I like that. And then you got to follow up with all those people you gave Shining Wizards t-shirts to.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. The Gangrel, he was fanging and banging. Dylan, and my main man, the main feature, Rich Matchwell. So he'll be on one of these weeks.
All right. Yeah. Well, that's it. I pulled all this shit up.
Oh.
Are they gonna play? Oh, I gotta play. I hate Tony. I hate Tony.
I love him.
I know you do.
This has been a production of the Shining Wizards Network.
The
Our
octopus.
executive producers are Manny Kratzo and main event Mike Peterson. Our producers are Danny Russoniello, Kate Hensler, Matt Garifo, Hi Fi, Tom, Ryan Schlong, Brendan Haney, Al Day, Kathy Hummer, William Mercier Jr., Michael Hammond, David Henry Bauer III, and Keith Parker. For everything Shining Wizards, visit shiningwizards.com. And don't forget to listen to all the great shows of the Shining Wizards Network.
Good